Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in, Friday edition of Old School. 3 hours till the weekend. 3 hours. That's all it is. A little more than 3 hours till college football playoff action, if my math is correct. We'll talk a little bit about that game and plenty more here on the show. I'm Austin Norman, joined, as always, my left in person, your right on stream by Husker Hall of Famer, 8-year NFL vet Jay Foreman. Jay, we did it. We outran that Hawk. That wind was nasty yesterday, but we made it out.
Yeah, out west, they said it was 100-mile-an-hour winds, right? They shut down the highway. And
missed that.
Yeah, we had some. Dang. I mean, probably gusts. I mean, obviously, but still, enough is enough, man. When you're driving down your street and you're dodging trash cans, you know, you something out of the movies. But yeah, a little bit better temperatures. Sun is out, so we're probably only down to about 20-mile-an-hour gusts. So I think we're living good right now,
which is normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
I was always the kid. I'm sure this will not shock you, but you know, elementary school, middle school especially, I was always the kid getting asked, are you going to blow away in the wind?
Oh.
that was me. Yeah, carry that backpack. Put some extra books in there so don't blow away.
Hey, man, if you got
I'm small.
You got one of those tall U-Haul trucks or something, trucks like that. Today is not a day that's a full arm workout and chest workout too. You don't have to be Billy Blanks and doing those tie bow or nothing. You got to be just trying to keep the steering wheel tight and straight.
The tall trucks, obviously, even my sedans, I've had to do that sometimes because it's just not that big a car.
Yeah, just however they're built or constructed, it makes it a little bit different. But
it's the crosswind. Crosswinds are the ones that kill you.
Yeah, and then when you're coming through like here buildings, and then you get a little bit of opening.
Woo!
Yeah, you bet. Hey, you
good.
You better be on point. You better be on point.
What you got to be on point on as well this day and age, the transfer portal. Matt Rule made some comments about that, what he's looking for out of his offense moving forward. We'll get into that. Sounds like a Husker defender will be entering the transfer portal as well. We will touch on that coming up in our next segment. Heck of a game in Thursday night football last night, and some interesting comments from Kyle Whittingham, not only here on the station during early break, but to other outlets as well. 402-464-5685. If there's anything on your mind, hit us up. Love to hear from you. That is our starter, Heyman Jewelers text line. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, by Certified Piedmontese. Today's a Fired Up Friday's over, but don't forget Thursdays and Fridays, you have their Fired Up days at Mercado East and Mercado North. Check out the menu, themercadobutcher.com. All right, Jay, Matt Rule spoke earlier today to the media. Was asked about the run game and, what he thought went well for Nebraska. And he said he thought the run game did well with inside zone and duo. He wants to beef up counter blocking for 2026. And then here's the money quote. The quote that I think is something we've mentioned and will really set the direction for the future of the program. I think moving forward, we'd like to have quarterbacks who are able to add in the run game, sort of like Haynes King was able to do at Georgia Tech. We spent a couple days speculating on it. Just took till the next time we heard from Matt Rule in that formal setting. Sounds like Nebraska is headed in the direction of a more mobile quarterback to pilot the offense moving forward.
Yeah, and I think I think it's being situational. Situationally, I think maybe is the better word or whatever. Mobile or effective in the run game. That's that's the most dangerous. I mean, number one, playing quarterback, you got to play pitch and catch. You got to be able to throw the ball. But I think situational quarterback scrambles and then situational kind of, I guess, conventional adding into the run game. Then we'll open up your true conventional run game and your pass game. So that's the way it's going. I don't think it's a direct pivot from Dylan. I think it's like, when Dylan was right earlier in the season, I think he was moving better. But I also think you have to have experience doing that as well. I think there's more quarterbacks that can actually be effective in the what I like to call off schedule run game or on schedule. I think the QB draw was calculated that Bryce Underwood did against us. They knew we were in man and we were running a game, and it was a parting of the Red Sea. 39 yards later, he's in the end zone. But I think there's more quarterbacks that can do it. I think one of the things that hurts a lot of quarterbacks by doing it now is because you go back to when Taylor Martinez came on the scene. There, it was probably the apex of it, the RPO, right? People didn't know how to defense it until you seen Bama and they ran man. But then it's been the explosion of 7-on-7 that takes away from it. Because now these quarterbacks are trying to sit back in the pocket and they'll keep dropping back. They're trying to showcase their arm. Well, when you get into college, you got defensive ends that can run 4.6s and 4.5s. They're quick as a cat, and they're running 5 defensive backs or 4 and a high, whatever you want to call it. And linebackers are smaller. Now you have to be very strategic in it, and you have to have experience in it. And it can't be, I'm just going to do it as I'm like going through the motions. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, but it gives you maybe a glimpse into, I think their ideal quarterback, oddly enough, would be the intermediate to medium accuracy and acumen of Dylan, and the pure running ability of your boy Jeff Sims when he was not running scared.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
And then you combine them, obviously.
Okay.
Now, now you got to be able to throw deep.
So what you're saying is Nebraska's looking for 2018 Adrian.
No, Adrian could throw the ball deep.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the intangibles are the most important.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
like all that stuff is great, right? You can get them, but you have to have somebody when they step in that huddle, it's on. And that's why I was like, I'll tell anybody, you want to see how to play the quarterback position? Look at young Dan Marino. He pimped the whole game.
There's a difference between being in the huddle, directing the huddle, and commanding the huddle. Is what it sounds like you're saying.
And this is back when he was more athletic and he was fast. You know, back if you watch him against Georgia when he was at Pitt, he had Mark May and all those guys. I mean, he could run it. At times, when Tom Brady was at his thing, he would get you in those sneaky kind of like sneaks on that. And obviously, I think you want somebody a little bit more athletic, but
like Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton. I mean, listen, this is one thing about Peyton. People think Peyton just because he looks awkward. He's built funny, right?
He's all forehead.
Yeah. He's actually 6'1". That forehead make him 6'5". I shouldn't be saying about it, but he's fast though. He's faster than what people give him credit for.
Sneaky fast, sneaky athletic,
and obviously before he got a little bit older, but like John Elway.
Yeah. That's a baseball guy.
Yeah, but look at the way before he, kind of got, he was taking a lot of hits and all that. But when he would run, if you look at the drive or the drives when he was at Denver, and he could throw on the run, and he would kill you. And it puts a lot more stress on defense. It makes them guess a lot more. And, I guess, as you can see, and now everybody's going to have a new top 10 list of who Nebraska's going to get. Look, you just got to get the guy that you want that fits your system, and he has to make it great, and the coaches have to make it just as equally great. Because you've seen, if you want to, obviously Kirk Cignetti in Indiana. Yeah, Mendoza was one of the top guys in there, but he wasn't the sexiest pick right away.
Yeah.
Got him. Was it Brosner?
Max Brosmer?
Brosmer. Yeah. He's quick. PJ Fleck, right? Everybody else, like once you have a guy that you know that you want,
go get him.
Right. And it generally works out pretty well. And it worked out well. Like you got Dante Moore in Oregon. I mean, that was kind of a situation. Chip Kelly left. He was willing to go wait, and but it's out there.
Do you think it's easier to find that dual threat guy than it is the true pocket guy for college football nowadays, or is it still easier to find the pocket first guy?
I think it's easier to find the pocket guy first because you do so much 707. The dual threat, the true dual threat.
Yeah.
And I
guys that are credible.
And I don't even like dual threat because I think dual threat, you automatically think runner.
Run first.
I think you need a guy that can be, I guess, dually like excel in both. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
Lamar Jacksons aren't on every street corner.
It's hard. And
Josh Allen's aren't on every street corner.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, because you have to have, number one, if you're going to run true RPO, you have to be really, really good out there on the edges blocking, and you got to be able to make some plays, and because that's going to open up the lanes. I'm trying to think. I mean, you got to think recently the closest one that was probably a real problem was like Justin Fields.
Yeah.
In college was a problem. Like a serious problem.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was just out there just doing his thing.
Cubsker throws out, what about like a Russell Wilson type?
Yes, I said that plenty of times. Russell Wilson, when his mind was right, I shouldn't say when his mind was right, when he was in Seattle and they were doing their thing, or a peak Aaron Rodgers. Now that's Hall of Famer. Let's just same Russell Wilson is too, but yeah,
Alex Smith.
Yeah, late,
young or late. Yeah.
Well,
he could move a little bit at Utah.
Yeah, he can move a lot of bit at Utah. I'm just talking about once he went to the Chiefs in his last year with the 49ers to the Chiefs, he was a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
I felt like.
Yeah.
So him and Aaron Rodgers and Russell, that's where you're at. That's what the Giants want Jackson Dart to be.
But instead, he's really run first.
He thinks he's Tim Tebow. And he's gonna be doing the same thing Tim Tebow's doing, calling games. He's gonna be put to sleep real soon.
You think Jackson Dart can get that jacked though?
He's got to get on that special diet that Tim Tebow's on.
Right.
Yeah. Now he got married and stuff. He about to go into dad bod.
Dad strength. Yeah.
You ain't lifting that. Yeah. Yeah. You don't got all that pent up energy no more, player.
Right.
But yeah, I mean those type of guys. I mean they're great to want and hard to to go get. But then also I think you can develop it as well, as long as you are very strategic and, do the things you need to do to get them right. But you definitely but you got to have a good running game off of that.
Absolutely. And that's where I think it's almost even more impressive what Nebraska did in the run game, especially out of shotgun. I mean, they were pretty good under center. It looked pretty good at times, but there's been this issue with the Chiefs that people a lot smarter than me have pointed out, is that the Chiefs are still so married to shotgun run, but without the threat of the quarterback actually keeping it, which simplifies and pares things down for the defense, especially when you can commit guys to the box because you're not scared of guys beating you over the top.
Yeah.
It's all kind of compounded for the Chiefs, but that's where, with Dylan Raiola not being a running threat, sure, he kept it a couple times early in the year, and that really dwindled by the time you hit Big Ten play. Teams knew when Nebraska lined up in shotgun, they had a better idea, what the run options were. And the fact that Emmett was still able to have the year that he was with that element of predictability out of the shotgun, I think speaks to, maybe underrating the offensive line in some areas and just how good Emmett was.
Interior blocking, they were pretty good.
Sure, there you go. And so now with a truer dual threat guy, maybe that frees some stuff up in the run game as well. And Jay, that's where I want to maybe turn our attention a little bit to. I like the idea of having that identity, right? Okay, go identify that dual threat guy to, either beat out TJ Lateef or certainly compete with him. TJ Lateef talked today as well, said the right things about not being scared of competition, competed my whole life and what have you. I'm not sure where in the market Nebraska is going to be. Right. I don't know if there's another, Mark Gronowski type out there for Nebraska to take a flyer on, a guy coming up from the mid-major FCS level. But if you look at on threes, top 10 quarterbacks in the portal, I think Sam Levitt fits that mold. Arm first, but can move a little bit. Yeah. Mestemaker, true pocket guy. Sorsby, I think still leans to that run first sort of quarterback. When you think of a dual threat, I think he's probably better with his legs than his arm, even though he's got a good arm. They have Dylan at number 4. Hoover's more pocket. Lagway. We'll see. Is Lagway the new Jeff Sims type? Is that kind of what you're looking at when you're scouting him?
Yeah. I mean, you just got to see you got to check his temperature, like where he's at, I mean, obviously you want to make sure.
I'm not saying for Nebraska, just in terms of like archetypes of players.
Yeah. I mean, that's why was he not the number one guy?
He was around there. Yeah, certainly
him and Dylan, right? And so that's what you get. I mean, he has plenty of arm strength. He can pick him up, put him down, and that's what you want. And but I think what people don't understand is like these dudes they're just not on like out there just walking the street. I think you have to get better no matter what quarterback or what type of quarterback you are. You have to constantly want to improve. And it's hard because it's not going to be easy because you have to maybe take a step back to take 3 forward. So, I think let me see. Yeah, I think Lagway. I'm trying to think, remember the TCU quarterback when they first jumped out there, against North Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
Like him, big arm, big, tall in the pocket, extremely accurate out on the outer thirds, but he did enough in the run game to really, really open up the conventional run game.
Yeah.
I like them. I mean, there's plenty out there. You just kind of, okay, what, like you said yesterday, what you got to find out who you are, like what you want to be.
Yeah.
And it's not just we want to be physical. Okay, do we want a physical running quarterback or do we want a situational like running quarterback? Do we want to be heavy in the run game or have the ability to be heavy in the run game? That where you look at Sorsby against us in the first game, it was pretty much all him, and they probably left a lot of meat on the bone against our defense in the conventional run game, right? And so you got to look at it like and then I think also you want to have somebody that can not change, but you can adjust to either week to week and maybe sometimes year to year, because let's just say, you're like, let's take Cincinnati, right? Sorsby threw for a whole bunch of yards last year, not this year, but last year. Or he did this year too, but coming into it, you look at his stats from last year.
Yeah.
All those guys are gone. So you have to have somebody that maybe you have to, I always say like carry the water up the steep side of the hill until the passing game gets going on. And that's what they did. And then obviously they ran into a little bit of, speed bumps later in the year. So you got to have some versatility. And I also think the better you become across the line, and both lines obviously, but in particularly offensive line, it allows you to really that becomes more effective. So The cause is the offensive line, which will lead to effect of more, I guess, more stress on the defense from the possibility of quarterback run game.
6869 says it's way too difficult to build an elite offensive line. Therefore, it's a no-brainer to me. Nebraska needs an elusive, mobile quarterback.
You're right, but you're wrong. Because I think they have decent enough young talent. It does take some time. So that's where I would say you're wrong. Now, I wouldn't say you're wrong, but this is what my point is, that you're building, as long as you can keep those guys in the fold. Now, part of the reason why the RPO started and the whole spread offense started was because of the lack of offensive linemen, good offensive linemen, and big physical ones. If you really study it, that's how it started, because they couldn't recruit the same linemen at the time at Nebraska, Michigan, Ohio State, and all that, Tennessee. So they had to find a way to be effective in the run game.
Give me 1.5 seconds instead of 2.5.
Right. And so what'd they do? They said, you know what? Instead of you playing receiver or tight end, you're the best athlete on the team. We're going to make it a way that we're going to try to really confuse the defense. And that way our offensive linemen they weren't winning one-on-one blocks. And so both of us are right. I think you can develop an offensive line, but you need that one class that's either mixed with portal guys and homegrown guys that could kind of be that line or lines in a couple years that get you over the hump.
Yeah.
If you look at, Indiana last year, when Tom Allen left, they had some talent. They had been winning. Obviously after COVID, Michael Penix leaves, the 2 NFL receivers leave.
Guys, Peyton Ramsey, he left
right,
then.
And guys get drafted on defense. McFadden's in the NFL. So the fabric of that team, which was kind of built almost like James Madison, was gone. And then you started to lose, and then you go and remember the first game against Ohio State, they were happy to lose 22-0. Kyle McCord was the quarterback. But when you watch the game, they actually were pretty decent across the line, right? They had some size and stuff like that, right? So when Cignetti comes in, I think he brought in an offensive lineman or offensive line coach that either I think previously had been at Notre Dame or had been at Notre Dame recently. So he got a couple guys right out of there.
Yeah.
Boom. Then that allowed him to foster the relationships with the young guys, develop them, go into the portal again. So you need that 1-2 class that really gets you over the hump where you see a significant difference.
Yeah.
Whether it's obviously a coaching change and player change, boom, now you're off and running. Now when you're recruiting guys, right? Now your eye for talent or what you're looking for is crystal clear now. Right? Because
once you know what it looks like, once you see those results, it clicks.
You know the traits. You know when they get mixed into that group of guys, they will have to adapt, and it's good peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? If you got a guy and say you're always the biggest guy that you played against, and say you were at Class B here or Class C1, right? So you can't fault them for playing against he's just a big kid, right? And you probably think, oh man, I play pretty hard. I'm pretty physical. Well, you get over there with the big boys, and you see, okay, I'm not as big. I'm not the biggest guy, anymore. But then also I see, okay, I was working hard, but this is the type of rate of work I need to do.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing it by your peers, and that's where I think.
And then as a coach, when you see a guy trying to figure that out, is he still competing? Is he going into a shell, or is he still trying to push forward? Like, oh crap, I do realize there's another gear, or is it? I'm not sure if it's for me.
Well, that's where you lean on your room.
Yeah, that's
where you lean on your leadership. That's because everybody goes through it.
Yeah.
Everybody makes a mistake. Everybody gets kicked out of a drill. Everybody kind of gets sat down a little bit.
You never got kicked out of drills, right?
Yeah, I did. I got kicked out of practice, out of drills. That's fine. I got chastised. I mean, hey, if you're playing any sport and you're playing hard and trying your hardest, you're going to get got and you're going to mess up. And you got to be able to just be. I mean, I don't even know if you call it tough love. You're just getting coached. Fair. And but there is a process. Everybody that goes through the true process where you're not manipulating the outcome before you get here, where you go through like, man, I got to really step it up. I got to really compete. You want to know a good example of it is when Coach Shorts was talking about Hunter, and it was the beginning of training camp.
Yeah.
And he was saying that, he needs to be more consistent. He said something, maybe he needs to be more consistent.
Yeah.
And he needs to,
let's see it every day.
Yeah. But he needs to separate himself.
Yeah.
Right. So he could have very easily just sat back. Well, I got a nice NIL deal. I know I'm going to play. What did he do?
Exploded for a few games.
Yeah. And he came right out, and then he showed a skill set that that people didn't assume he had. 50-50 catches, make guys miss. I mean, he was kind of, really, really the explosive of the two in him and Dane Key.
I'm going to go back to that text again from 6869 that we're talking about right now. It's way too difficult to build an elite offensive line. Therefore, it's a no-brainer to me. Nebraska needs an elusive, mobile quarterback. Number one, is there any reason that Iowa can be allowed to build stellar offensive lines and Nebraska can't? There's only a river separating them, right? I mean, Kansas and Kansas State have done it. Put All-Americans and borderline All-Americans down there, right? Missouri has run the ball pretty well. Those are neighboring states. If they can do it, you would think Nebraska would be able to as well. But Jay, I'll say this, if you can't build an elite offensive line, then you need an elusive mobile quarterback. That sounds like to me, it was 2018, 19, and 20. Where, sure, Nebraska was up there in the Big Ten in rushing. There's always going to be criticism of offensive linemen because one sack a year is too many to give up to most fans. But if you're not going to be able to build an elite offensive line and you're relying on a mobile quarterback to bail you out, what you end up with more often than not is Adrian Martinez playing Superman, putting too much of the offense on his shoulders. And as we saw, it's not sustainable. You can get hot. You can have a good month. But maybe you take one too many hits. Maybe your legs get worn down a little bit too much. If your receivers aren't getting open early to get quick passes out and you're relying on the deep shots and that's your passing game, you don't have the offensive line for it. I mean, shout out to Adrian Martinez. He bailed Nebraska out of a lot of bad spots. But if you're relying on a quarterback to cover up for a mediocre offensive line, you're going to get Adrian Martinez again. And asking your quarterback to play Superman 12 plus times a year is not necessarily sustainable.
He won't finish the year, and obviously, and I think that's where the texter, you got to be very careful of how, it shouldn't be. You don't have to be careful how you word it. We want you to keep texting in, and obviously, what I'm saying is that yes, you're right. If your offensive line is porous, then yes, you need somebody that's elusive that can kind of keep you on schedule. But you want Adrian Martinez, or maybe a little bit less, Adrian Martinez with a better offensive line, or with a an uptick in our offensive line, because that makes him more dangerous.
So you can play up the conventional run game and the quarterback run game instead of the hero ball bailing out.
And that didn't really do it. It was great when he did it, but you never won any games doing that. So we've already seen that. So but I also think the best thing you can do is have that, kind of like your ace in the hole. But what you have to really do, which Adrian probably looks back and now he's playing in the pros, is that you have to really develop him in how to play the position of quarterback.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Adrian had a plenty strong enough arm. I mean, obviously, right? But knowing how to throw timing routes, how to throw guys open, and all that, he was way behind. But that's why it was great he was able to go to the XFL, UFL, and then obviously Detroit, and obviously the Jets and 49ers and so forth and so on. So, yes, you want an elusive quarterback. And yes, if you have, a down year with offensive line, or maybe like a bunch of, freshmen and sophomores, sure. But at the end of the day, you don't want running around and all that, because, when you play against the teams that'll cage you in there as a quarterback, then your offense look really bad. And then you're like, oh, well, we're not calling enough good enough plays, or we're not doing that. You want to make sure you cover the basics first, and then I'll allow the athletes to be the athletes.
Two more texts to get to here briefly, and then we'll take our first break of the show. Colgan J. So is Nebraska in the market for a quarterback? Did Nebraska lose both of them? Did I miss something? No. TJ Lateef still with the program, recovering from his hamstring strain, but it did sound from all reports that Nebraska was contemplating taking a transfer quarterback. Matt Rule all but confirmed that, as did Dana Holgerson earlier this week. And then, Jay, we'll get to this from Gus Mohawk. If Lateef isn't healthy by the bowl game, who would you start at quarterback? Gus Mohawk throws out there Jalen Gramstad or Heinrich Harburg. I think the depth chart is Gramstad and then Marcos Davila. I don't think Harburg is an option at quarterback. If Lateef can't go, sounds like he's making progress and ought to be good in 12 days. I think Matt Rule would go with Jalen Gramstad at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he has, obviously college experience at a different level. He's kind of like coach kind of, he's kind of been, he wants to coach and all that. So he definitely would be the guy you think would start. I think guys are probably more familiar with him than obviously Heinrich Harburg at this time. And Heinrich hasn't played in a year and a half.
Outside of those random short yardage sneaks.
Yeah. And like
hasn't really been
that wouldn't really be, the best option. So they got guys and they got time. I mean, I'm just I guess I'm going to assume that TJ is going to be able to play. I'm sure they're bringing him on, a little slow, and he's young. And by the time it'll be a month, from Iowa to when they play. So hopefully he'll be healthy enough to play and be more strategic about, or he's strategic about how much he pushes the hamstring even in the game. So because obviously what he wants to do is put on a good showing to have a leg up to start here, or, the leg up on the competition then when it comes.
12 days away, Nebraska and Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl. We'll talk more about Nebraska in the transfer portal, losing a key defender. What does that mean for Nebraska? We'll talk about Malcolm Hartzog's intention to enter the transfer portal next.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Blitz 250. Blitz 250 is a fully loaded pre-workout for those who want the most out of their workouts. Blitz 250 is safe for sport and banned substance free. Blitz 250 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. For location info, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Talking more Nebraska football in the transfer portal. Lost Norman J. Foreman with you. Plenty to get to yet on this topic. Appreciate everyone with your thoughts texting in. Starter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. Jay, this got put out there, about 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago or so. From On 3, Nebraska defensive back Malcolm Hartzog plans to enter the NCAA transfer portal. Hartzog recorded the game-winning interception against Cincinnati to start this season and has totaled 108 career tackles. That's a guy that was a single digit for Nebraska, who got picked on quite a bit, certainly made his fair share of big plays for the Huskers. Your reaction, your thoughts on Malcolm Hartzog transferring out of the Nebraska program when the Vortex opens?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously he's been around, made some big plays, and obviously, battled through position changes, and he kind of took one for the team where he was really, excelling at the, I guess, safety or joker position. And then he moved out the corner, a couple years ago and didn't work out so well. And then obviously this year he had a couple big plays and been hurt and probably wants a fresh start. It's his last year in college and, he's able to get that red shirt back, obviously playing as a true freshman, able to get that red shirt. So he's probably trying to maybe get somewhere close to home or maybe seeking more playing time. So you can't fault him for it, and I understand it.
Kind of a weird situation. We haven't really gotten much detail on why he didn't play toward the end of the year. Obviously, he was kind of banged up, but there was always that question of, will he come back? Is he available? It was just kind of left out there in the wind. I don't know what went on behind the scenes. Either way, wish the young man the best. Yeah. I do think that, I know I've made this argument before, but I think it bears repeating because to me, Malcolm Hartzog is really the poster child for this. I like what Travis Fisher, the old DB's coach, did in cross-training his guys, right? Learn to play safety, learn to play corner. If you can be versatile, that goes a long way. You commend, you tip your cap to a guy like Malcolm Hartzog who had ability at both spots for doing what was best for the team. That's a guy, though, that I don't think ever got consistent reps at where I thought he would have been best in the slot with his size. And sure, it would have been a different type of mismatch. I'm sure teams would have tried to put bigger tight ends on him, and who knows how that would have gone. I still just can't get over the Kenny Moore comparisons with the size, ability as a blitzer, and ball skills and return skills in there as well. But while I understand the benefits of cross-training is probably good in the offseason, by moving Malcolm Hartzog around, you didn't get the most out of him. Maybe it was better for the team in the moment, which is obviously what you have to do. But I think sometimes, too, when you move so many guys around like that, even in the situation of moving Sierra Wright inside to nickel this year, good for Sierra Wright being able to do it and being willing to do it. But if you have a shutdown, lockdown corner, you have a good safety, why would you make yourself, worse at two positions? Yeah. By going to a backup and moving a guy away from his natural, comfortable position. I get it, but it's just unfortunate when you get to a situation like Malcolm Hartzog's where you saw some talent, you saw some impact, but you never still feel like you got the most out of him in terms of the production.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're definitely a team player, and I don't know what happened. Maybe he had a surgery and just didn't recover fast enough. And, at some point in time, the defense was doing well enough, and it was like, okay, I come back for 2 weeks. And so, or whatever he could have done. So hopefully he's healthy and, he ends up on his feet and continues to play in his career. But yeah, the cross-training thing, I do understand it, because you kind of do it at linebacker as well, because you got to know outside before you, as well as inside. But I think when you have a certain body type like Malcolm Hartzog, I think, he's either going to be an outside corner, definitely going to be a field corner, or he's going to be, in that kind of slot, or joker position in safety. And, probably hurt him a little bit, but I think more importantly, it's, he probably did some more positives than negative, and he was a good, good person to have on the team, and he made some big plays here. So, you wish him the best. You
absolutely do. That's going to be a defensive back room that was one of the strengths, if not the strength, of this Nebraska team this past year with all the upperclassmen back there. You don't want to say it's a room in flux because you got plenty of guys that have played, right? Donovan Jones, Rex Guthrie come to mind, but you're down Singleton. You're still down Hartzog now with him in the portal. Marquise Buford gone. And obviously Sierra Wright gone as well. Their names, right? They were pretty high on Jameer Khan, who played a little bit. I'm kind of high on Amari Sanders, but you're going to need at least another corner. I'm still team move Donnie Jones to safety and see how that works out. But that's also a position, Jay, that I don't think Nebraska needs to go nuts in the portal. You get Andrew Marshall back. There's one corner. He played pretty well at times. And you made a point, Matt Rule, to know that you were retaining Addison Williams even when you brought in the new DC. Make him earn his money with the billions, it seems like, of bodies that you've brought in recruiting that
yeah.
defensive backfield. You got
Yeah.
plenty of guys.
Yeah, I mean, they got some young talent there. And that's where the hardest thing about the portal is because, subconsciously everybody thinks the portal is where you find the answers. No, it's not.
Doesn't have to be.
But it's not, though. Like, overall, if you look at all the teams, the top 50 teams, you're not remedying all your problems. You're just trying to you're just trying to get guys in position, 2 or 3 guys to make up for the production of one. And so you go in there, you have to weigh, what do we have on our roster? Have we seen them develop? That's why practice is so important, because you want to show constant improvement, even when you got to work while you wait.
Yeah.
And if you want an example of that, look at Emmett. But you're able to forecast, okay, what could he be next year with 5 times the reps in the offseason versus a guy that we're getting out that's not that much bigger, that much faster, or if at all, and not really that more productive, but he's played a couple years. So you got to really do you got to do a good job of that, because you could bring in some players that don't meet expectations, but you can lose some players that, or before they're able to fill those expectations, for them. So that's probably the hardest thing to do when you got to, fix some stuff and you lose production and leadership out of your defensive back room. You're not just you're not just bringing in the body types or the height, weight, speed. You're missing the people too.
Right.
Especially if they were captains or something like that.
Single digits.
Yeah, single digits.
Which
or
a
whatever.
bunch of that defensive backfield was.
Yeah, so and the continuity. So, but, Addison Williams, has been through it before, and he does a good job of, commanding the respect in the room. So I don't think anything else would change.
The other position where I think Nebraska will have a lot of turnover, obviously, could be the running back position with Emmett Johnson gone. Some big names in the portal, Jay. Evan Bland, who we've tried to get in contact with and work with the phones, put out a list of some interesting names at the running back position, and really all over the field. But when you look at Nebraska in the running back room, is this a situation where you think they're, best served by going out and paying for a starting caliber running back? Do you bring in competition for the guys you have now? Do you let the bowl game determine how you go about that and how good you feel about what you have in the room?
Well, I think the safe way to go about it is like, let's see what happens in the bowl game. Let's go back and really evaluate bowl practices. I mean, you're evaluating all year, but it's different when you're, getting a couple reps, while Emmett is getting a majority of the reps and getting a majority of the carries in the game, versus knowing that all you guys in there have to, earn your stripes, and all you guys are going to play pretty significant snaps in the bowl game. So you got to weigh that versus, maybe trying to get your boy Hollywood Smothers. I think you pick him up just for the simple fact, NIL wise, he'd be great. Hollywood. We'll see. I mean, I think you have to bring in just like the quarterback position. I think you have guys that you think can be that guy next year, right? There's somebody that you feel like, okay, he could possibly develop into a starter, and you'll be the guy next year in the running back room. Maybe not to the magnitude of Emmett, but serviceable. Same thing with TJ. He could develop in there, but you have to bring in the competition at the same level and see how they react to that, and then to see where the chips may fall.
You would call it an insurance policy, but it's really not, because you never know what you're getting out of the transfer portal. You can feel really good about something or someone, but until you see them lace it up, you can't call anyone an insurance policy. It's just business, right? But really what it is I think that the right word is competition. If your guy that's currently on the roster wins, cool. That worked out how we thought we wanted it to. If he doesn't win it, hey, look, we're good at evaluating talent in the transfer portal. Glad we went and got this guy instead of leaving ourselves exposed.
Yeah, it's not the insurance policy. What it's called? It's like they used to have these things, and insurance is like a rider. It's like an extra add-on. And it's all based on if you exceed expectations as far as investments or like your whole life policy. So, I mean, that's where they need to go, and that's what they need to do. And, this is going to be year 4. Competition is thick, and you got some holes to fill by either production, which would be Emmett, or portal, which would be Dylan. And then also you got holes to fill because some guys maybe just didn't live up to expectation this year. But then you have to reevaluate it because you have to give a lot of leeway to the new position coaches and then the new offensive coordinator. So this is a new Dana. now. It's not now new in the sense of he has a new offensive line coach that that he's working with. So I'm assuming that's going to maybe not change his playbook. It's going to be different, right? Because if he feels really good about what he can do pass protection wise, well, then you might see, because of the lack of, experience and production right early in the run game, you might be seeing some 12 personnel, but no backs in like empty formation, because you feel like, the protections, slide protections, man protections match up with your route tree. So, but then same thing on defense. You got a whole new coordinator. You got a whole new idea of what the player is. And so, man, it's pretty tough.
You mentioned the new coaches. It is official. The ink's dry. Roy Manning and Lonnie Teasley got their shout out tweets today on the interwebs.
They got the graphics.
They got the welcome to Lincoln graphics. They absolutely did. Lonnie Teasley gets the run game coordinator tag. Jay, I don't think Nebraska has designated a run game coordinator since Greg Austin.
Yeah.
Not that it means a whole lot. I mean, probably title you get the guy to get him to come to town, but Teasley comes with some connection to guys from South Carolina that could be in the portal. Jeep Wade also has a couple guys from Georgia Tech that are in the portal, but Teasley especially, I think, is a big get for Nebraska. He spent most of his career working with offensive tackles.
Oh, well, the title's title. I mean, I think everybody's going to have the blocking schemes, and they got to come together. I mean, there was a thing on Big Ten Network, Ohio State went outside of their normal box. They have two offensive line coaches, an interior offensive line coach, and one of them is the run game coordinator, and one's a tackle coach. Seemed to work out pretty good for them. Quiet as kept. When we were here at Nebraska, we did the same thing. It was Coach Tennifer and Coach Young. We just weren't able to have unlimited coaches. Coach Young was doing the special teams coach, assistant offensive line coach, but he did a lot with the tackles. Worked out pretty well for us. So, long as they can bring in whoever they want to bring in. I mean, I guess if they're really good players, and say it's a total of 4, between those two, probably go hopefully like the bet that you get 2 of them. I mean, or if you get all 4, then sure, then you kind of problem solved. But we'll see where what they do.
Because you feel decent. I mean, it's postseason, pre-bowl, but heard some good stuff from Elijah Pritchett. Feel pretty good about him at left tackle moving forward to next year. You give Justin Evans the nod at center. Then you're looking for 3.
Well, yeah. Then you're looking for 3.
Whether that's internal or portal, obviously.
Yeah, because in mainly guard position, you lose Latoski and Rocco, and then then you got to think, okay, where's Gunnar Gatula?
Yeah,
I mean, he's started some games. He's at times he's played pretty decent.
Where do you think he's best? Good player.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. I haven't seen him at guard. I mean, I guess I would say right tackle. That's what I would. I mean, assuming Pritchard's coming back, he's going to be left tackle. So I'd just say right tackle. I mean, but like everybody else did, like I said last offseason, everybody on this team, every single person on this team has to get better.
Yeah.
Portal or not.
Coach or player.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, everybody does. But the reason why is like nobody's arrived. So it's like, all right, we all got to get in here. We got to get after it because, it's great to kind of pencil in guys, but you could very easily get beat out if you rested on something that you did last year at some point or at some point in time in your career at another place.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
That's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. We'll be right back wrapping up Hour 1 of Old School on the other side.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals, no more hunting down parts, no more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain in the letter x.com/AI.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy. It's an afternoon high around 49. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, a continued breeze below around 35. And tomorrow, we'll see probably sunny skies and a light breeze. It's an afternoon high near 47. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Get ready, because everything is on sale for one day only at Baumgart's. This Saturday, December 20th, take 12% off all items store-wide. That's right. If it's in the store, it's on sale. Toys, tools, decor, apparel, farm supplies. Whatever you need, you'll save. But don't wait. Doors are open only until 8 p.m. It's the Baumgart's Everything Sale. This Saturday only. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
At Riddles Jewelry, we know there are moments in life when you realize this is what it's all about. And you wish you could hold on to that feeling forever. This is why we've made jewelry our passion for 65 years. This holiday season, find the perfect gift with savings up to 50%. Riddles Jewelry, family owned since 1959.
Located in Lincoln at the Gateway Mall.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. Keep your eyes posted to the Mercado social media pages for specific daily deals from now all the way through New Year's Eve on December 31st. Don't forget their other locations, now open at 30th and Yankee Hill and 84th and Old Cheney in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back, wrapping up hour one of Old School. Still plenty more to get to on Nebraska football. But first, got a couple tickets to give away to Nebraska wrestling coming up on, obviously, tonight against North Carolina and then on Sunday against Oklahoma State. 2 tickets to give away. Jay, number between 1 and 7 for me, please.
6.
6. Okay, texter number 6 with the correct answer to this question will earn the 2 tickets to Nebraska wrestling's home match against Oklahoma State on Sunday. Text line 402-464-5685. How many home runs did Trey Turner hit for Team USA in the 2023 World Baseball Classic? Again, how many home runs did Trey Turner hit for Team USA in the 2023 World Baseball Classic? Texter number 6 with the right answer wins 2 tickets to Nebraska wrestling versus Oklahoma State. Jay, I bring this up because it seems to me like Team USA Baseball is doing its best to assemble its version of the Dream Team. The lineup right now for Team USA, what it could have in, once the tweet loads, there we go. Okay, you could have across the outfield, Corbin Carroll, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Aaron Judge, who's the captain. Your infield, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr., and Bryce Terang. And then on the mound is where it really gets impressive. Pitching's kind of let the Americans down a little bit. Your starting rotation right now could be Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, Logan Webb, and the Minnesota Twins' very own Joe Ryan. Compare that to the last time the World Baseball Classic was played. Merrill Kelly, Adam Wainwright, Lance Lynn, and Nick Martinez.
Yeah, the only person you know is Wainwright. So
before that,
yeah.
In 2017, it was Marcus Stroman, Chris Archer, Danny Duffy, and Tanner Rourke. Heard of any of them?
No.
2013, R.A. Dickey, Ryan Vogelsong, Derek Holland, and Gio Gonzalez.
No.
2009, Roy Oswalt, Jake Peavy, Ted
Oswalt.
Lilly,
I know
and Jeremy
him.
Guthrie.
I know Roy Oswalt.
Jake Peavy?
Yes, Jake Peavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then 2006, you had Roger Clemens, Dontrell Willis, Jake Peavy, and Al Leiter.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So should be a pretty stacked American team. The Dominican team looks solid, of course. Japan, the defending champions, as it was Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout in the 9th inning of that one. And Team Japan ends up winning it. We are scrolling through the answers here. Eric, it doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. It was just interesting to talk about. There's a trivia question that came from it. 3591, you are the winner. The correct answer is 5. 5 World Baseball Classic home runs for Trey Turner in 2023, as the Americans end up the runner-ups, the silver medalists in the World Baseball Classic in 2023. We will go to break. Plenty more to talk about in the realm of football in the transfer portal. But first, Thursday night football. What a game last night.
Man.
How about that one? Lots to break down from the Seahawks angle, the Rams angle, and what it means for the state of the NFC playoff picture. Sean Payton in position to make some history, and Kyle Whittingham is on the market looking for a new job. Not done coaching. He confirmed it. We'll talk about that and more all ahead, hours 2 and 3 of Old School next.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The clock's ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 18 months, followed by 6.35% on selected equipment, including air drills, combines, planters, sprayers, 6 through 9 series tractors, and windrowers. No auction, no waiting, just direct access to the machines you want, price to move. Inventory won't last, and neither will these rates. Visit your nearest Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Get ready, because everything is on sale for one day only at Baumgart's. This Saturday, December 20th, take 12% off all items store-wide. That's right. If it's in the store, it's on sale. Toys, tools, decor, apparel, farm supplies, whatever you need, you'll save. But don't wait. Doors are open only until 8 p.m. It's the Baumgart's Everything Sale. This Saturday only. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Omaha Steaks is the official sponsor of tailgating. From legendary burgers to mouth-watering steaks, deli-style franks, and so much more, you'll elevate your next game day get-together with America's original butcher. Now you have the chance to be the ultimate gift giver this holiday season. Visit omahasteaks.com/theticket for 16 free Omaha Steaks smash burgers on your order of $129 or more. Plus 50% off site-wide. That's 16 free smash burgers at omahasteaks.com/theticket. See the website for details. Happy holidays from Omaha Steaks.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The holidays are here, and there's every reason to make Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina part of your plans. Are you heading to a Nebraska basketball game? Stop at Tipsy Tina's before or after for delicious tacos. Meeting friends for drinks for an ugly sweater get-together? Enjoy Tipsy Tina's variety of margaritas. And if you're not sure about what to get for a gift this year, Tipsy Tina's gift cards are always a great idea. Don't forget about the event space at Salt next door to Tipsy Tina's, all of them located in the Haymarket at 8th and Q.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Are you ready to make a difference this holiday season? Schwiezo Construction and TMCO are hosting a diaper drive December 5th through the 19th. They're collecting diapers, pull-ups, and wipes to benefit TMCO Prep Academy, the Nebraska Diaper Bank, and Forward. Drop off your donations at Schwiezo Construction, 93.7 The Ticket, Pine Lake Self-Storage, or White Elm Brewery. Together, we care for our community. For more information, please visit Schwiezo Construction's website or Facebook page today.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, it is hour 2 of the show here on a Friday. I'm Austin. He's Jay. Here are you. Appreciate you chiming in and tuning in throughout the course of the show. This is Old School, brought to the people by who, Jay Foreman?
The Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients of Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th Andremat / Old Cheney, and 168th and Maple up there in the O, or the Metro, or whatever you want to call it, O-Town.
Up in Seattle. Big one last night, Jay. Big one. Really modified the NFC playoff picture. Let's talk about it. A 38-37 overtime win, a walk-off for the Seahawks at home. Teams entered with the same record. Seattle now moves to 12-3. The Rams drop to 11-4 with 2 weeks remaining. I turned this game on at 30-14 early in the fourth quarter, Jay. Obviously, 2 scores in the NFL. If you win by 2 scores, feels like a lot. Sometimes in this modern day and age of the NFL, though, 2 scores can get erased in a hurry. Seattle had timely plays. A punt return touchdown helped swing things. The Rams kind of sputtered there in the fourth quarter. But, man, that was an incredible, incredible Thursday night football game where, honestly, I didn't hate the Seahawks uniforms either. Thought I wasn't going to like them going in. But certainly a heck of a performance and a deserved win for the Seahawks, especially with the way they played for really the last, 25 minutes of that one.
Yeah, they really turned it on here. Obviously, the third quarter on. You go into halftime down, obviously 13-7, and then you're in a good old-fashioned shootout, and obviously being able to, get a little bit of. I wouldn't say I say they created their own luck. Chasing the ball and obviously getting it overturned in the end zone. It's the right call. It's by the letter of the law. I've never seen anything like that before. Probably won't ever see it again. And they withstood a phenomenal performance by Stafford and Nakua.
Yeah.
I mean, very rarely do you lose a game with no turnovers, no sacks given up, 400 yards passing. I don't think ever. Well,
the Seahawks are the first team in NFL history to allow a 450-yard passer, a 200-yard receiver, no takeaways, no sacks, all in the same game, and still win.
Still win. Yeah, and you got to have the will to win, and obviously they did enough offensively to, get the job done. So they had to defend home field. Now you got to look at and hope for some help. And for the Rams, going into the game, you always kind of felt like, look, they were the odds-on favorite. They've been playing the best. You're up there in Seattle, and Seattle was able to work through. Sam Darnold struggling a little bit, and then he was able to kind of get it together. Now you got to look at who the Rams play and who Seattle plays, and hope for. The Rams want to get it to where Seattle and them are playing for it in 2 weeks. Because I think they play at the Rams, right?
No. Those 2 teams are done.
Oh, they're done. Okay.
So on that, let me see if I can find it. I saved it here. Yeah. So this is from Kyle Soppe, who ends up working with Pro Football and Sports Network. The Rams and the Seahawks have played twice this year. The Rams have scored 58 points and gained 830 total yards. The Seahawks in the 2 matchups scored 57 points and had 829 total yards. About as even as you can get.
Yeah, I mean that was it. That was for the. It looks like the Rams. They play the Falcons in the another layup game. I think to end the season. But
so at the Falcons and host the Cardinals.
And that's 2 layups.
On the flip side for Seattle,
they play at the Panthers.
A lot to play for,
and they're tough at Carolina.
At the crib.
And then they play at 49ers. So it was in the NFL, when teams are desperate and they need, it's like a must-have. Yeah. They're going to empty the tank. They need this to kind of keep themselves alive. Very, very easily, they could go 0-2, and the Rams go 2-0. They're in there.
Yeah, Seattle's in the driver's seat now.
Yeah,
but they haven't clinched anything.
Yeah, they're in the driver's seat, but they shouldn't feel comfortable. No. And I think they're. I mean, look. They got a lot to clean up defensively. Puka Nacua was off the charts. Still very immature, but he was able to step up as big time as far as when Devontae Adams is out. But Seattle was able to pull out that victory. I think it was a classic game. I mean, that was it wasn't as bad defensively as it was when the Rams played the Chiefs a few years ago, and it was like
54-51. Yeah.
This was actually, I think this Puka Nacua was just. I mean. That catch he made on the banana route, it's kind of, it's kind of lazy 7 cut, and he caught it and kind of twisted his body back and hit the ground and hit his head, and then he didn't even go out of the game. He came back and he made another 50-50 catch, and they ended up scoring. Then he had a big deep over route, and they missed.
Well, the breakdown of that play was Stafford a little bit of a no look.
No
Ernest
look.
Jones is right in position
there. And that's what
until he's not.
Yeah, well, what he did, he's looking over there, and Ernest Jones just floated one step to the left too much.
Well, and the other safety had to follow the tight end. You had cleared him. Like, that's
and he threw it right where you were. Yeah, and there was another big play that Stafford was kind of getting chased out of the pocket. Somebody was around his feet, and Nakua was open again. He overthrew him.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on that. They were on, man, and that's hard to withstand. I mean, it's very rarely do you be able to get on the plane, or not on the plane, or at least go home with a victory. I mean, I've seen it up close and personal with Dan Marino. We were able to win, but there was nothing you could do. And it's just like in baseball, good pitching beats what? Good hitting. Great, right?
Every time,
every single time.
Next Gen Stats says the Seahawks win probability was as low as 2.7% with about 9 minutes left, trailing 30-14 in their comeback win. Seattle's chances of earning the 1 seed in the NFC are now 52%. Los Angeles' chances dropped to 21%. So Seattle's chances at 52%, they were 4% of earning the 1 seed when they were down by 16 points. They pulled it off thanks to more NFL history, Jay, right? The 450 passing yards, 200 yards, no sacks, no takeaways. First team like that to win in NFL history. How about this? The Seahawks became the first NFL team ever to win an overtime game on a 2-point conversion. And they're, I believe, the first team in NFL history with 3 successful 2-point conversions in the fourth quarter or overtime in a victory. Talk about desperation. Had to have it, needed to have it. On the one hand, wouldn't have necessarily been in that position had Sam Darnold started off better.
Yeah.
But he came back. He played well. Did this answer any questions? Is Sam Darnold done seeing ghosts now, or is that just desperation mode? Hey, they got this one, but questions are still there.
There's still questions. And I don't know if I think that game against New England, he was seeing ghosts. I think he was just stage fright right now. I think that's where he's at. I mean, it's a big game. You got to play well. Sometimes maybe he gets too hyped up, and because he's got all the skills. Let's not overlook some. He's a good football player.
Oh yeah,
he got a good arm, and he's played well and thrown for it. But I think sometimes the pressure can get to guys. And he started out slow, and I think he's also very young in this type of pressure. You got to think when you're at the Jets when he was, then you're. Whether you go to Panthers, you're not in the mix all the time. So
backed up to the 49ers,
right?
Way down the depth chart.
So
Minnesota last year.
Yeah. Now, but then that was his first taste of being in the big time.
Moment.
Yeah. And I think the criticism that he got, I criticized him. I think some of the passes he was throwing were bad, but that offensive line with Minnesota at that point in time in the year was porous at best. And that's why they addressed it this offseason. We'll see. And it's a little bit better than he was a couple weeks ago when he played really, really bad because he was able to kind of get out of his own way. So you got to give him credit there that where he was able to, get right back and obviously, lead the team to victory.
Flip side of that, for the Rams, Jay, how many opportunities did they have to close that one out and couldn't do it? There were 11 possessions in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
11. The average number of possessions in an NFL game is 24. You had half of that in the fourth quarter. Rams get one more first down. Maybe things are different. Certainly string together 1 or 2 more drives. And of course, you have the missed field goal by Harrison Mevis that ends up looming incredibly large. But both teams get a stop. Rams march down the field and score with that Stafford to Nakua pass. Rams had every chance to close this one out. They didn't do it. Does that raise any questions about the Rams and what they could hope to accomplish in the postseason?
A little bit. Because you would think with the way that they're playing, they would be able to put the daggone. I remember it was about 3 minutes, and Seattle messed up, and it was like Stafford got his helmet. He looked at McVay. I'm like, oh yeah, this game, this is over. And next thing you know, Seattle had the ball back with like 1:30 left.
Yeah,
tricked it off.
Yeah.
Then you got the ball back again.
Really smart timeout usage by McDonald.
Yes.
Used them all. Got the 2-minute timeout in there as well. Took your chance. Failed it, and then the Rams have the ball back with a chance.
Right, with a chance. And so I think that's where they're really kicking themselves.
Yeah.
Sure. In the moment you could be mad or not be familiar with the 2-point overturn or 2-point play overturn. you really need to be mad is like they just handed it to us, like at least a true opportunity.
Yeah.
2 times with 3 minutes left. 3 and some change.
Mhm.
That hardly ever happens that you get 2 possessions in like 2 minutes.
Right. And your defense that had been shredded for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Came up with a huge stop.
Yeah, huge stop. So you keep letting that team hang around like that, you'll get, a little bit of surprise and obviously, go home with a little bit of disappointment.
2366 on our starter Human Jewelers text lines points out the Rams blew a big lead against the Eagles early in the season too.
That is true. So now you got to really look at how you're finishing games, situational football, clock management, 4 to 6 minute drill, 6 to 4 minute drill.
Yeah.
And you got to really start honing that in because start to the middle of the fourth quarter, you got that cornered.
Yeah.
Now you got to learn how to close out games, and it is hard when you're playing against the Eagles. It is hard when you're playing on the road at Seattle. But man, especially this last night.
For a head coach and a quarterback who have been there, done that before, it shows one of two things. Number one, they still have room to grow. Number two, it can happen to anybody. But you still kind of expect a little bit more from that head coach and that quarterback who's been playing really well, Jay. I mean, Robert Mays with The Athletic points this out, or maybe with The Athletic. Matthew Stafford's averaging 278 passing yards per game, over 8 yards per attempt, and is on pace to throw 45 or more touchdowns. One of potentially 8 of those seasons in NFL history. Stafford's playing so well. He played well, put up the numbers last night, has been known for those clutch moments coming through, even his time in Detroit when they were so bad. It was often the defense. Stafford would score, give him the lead late. Defense would end up coughing it up. Stafford's been clutch, which is why I'm willing to give him a little bit of a pass. But you had the Eagles game on top of this one. I think it just goes to show there really is no true favorite in the NFL this year in either conference.
It's game by game. He's been clutch, and when you're known as being clutch, that means you've actually failed some too.
Yeah,
and so that's why it's such a topic, because he had 3 or 4 opportunities to be clutch. What's funny? He went to high school with Clayton Kershaw, and remember when Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs never could, pitch well or get over the hump, and they were asking like Matthew Stafford about Clayton Kershaw why he's not clutch because he's been so clutch. And so that's just an interesting, tidbit. But I think he'll look the season he's having, 37 years old, an off season where it seemed like the Rams didn't even want him.
Right.
They were trying to trade him.
Yeah.
And then remember he had a mini holdout because of his back. And then, he didn't really rehab his back because he didn't know whether he was going to be at the Rams or not. And they were kind of like, yeah, we're trying to get rid of you. We don't want you to know we're trying to trade you. All right, what kind of contract can we get since nobody wants you? And everybody knows you want to stay here. All right, let's figure something out. And then he didn't practice all training camp.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's probably on the pace for 4,600 yards.
Something like that, yeah.
At 37
Many
years old.
yards.
Yeah. All while breaking in Devontae Adams and obviously Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp is actually in Seattle.
Yeah. Cubsker does point out the Puka Nacua angle, 12 for 225 and 2 touchdowns, including the 58-yarder. Cubsker does point out Jackson Smith and Jigba, 8 for 96 and a touchdown, long of 27 on 13 targets for him. Jay, that's a pretty pedestrian normal day for Jackson Smith and Jigba at this point. Do you think Seattle maybe took too long to try to get him involved in the game?
Yeah.
And if so, why would they wait? Just game flow? What do you think?
Well, I think, when you're a true number one receiver and you're not schematically, getting schemed open, the defense is rolling to you. But I think in Jigba, Smith, he can do different things, so you can move him around.
Yeah.
So that's where you need to evolve, and that will help Sam Darnold out starting faster too.
Yeah.
Move him around, get him going, get the confidence going. Obviously, he has run after the catch ability, and plus he's a problem, period. So
yeah,
I think that's also what, both teams are going to go back. Obviously, one's going to celebrate the victory. One's going to be a little bit upset, but you're going to have to look at the nuances of it because, look, it was a 1-point game last night. It was a 2-point game earlier in the year. You might see each other in the playoffs. You got to find some way to get over the hump. You're not going to blow. It's not going to be a blowout.
No.
It's going to come right down to the last couple possessions. It's going to come right down to the last, couple minutes in execution. And you got to be able to lean on your fundamentals in order to get over the hump.
38-37 is Seattle taking down Los Angeles. Jay, D-Man does want to know about that 2-point conversion. Says, I don't know if that was a backward pass last night. Looked pretty close to me. I thought it was pretty clearly backward, but then you hear the whistle before Charbonnet may or may not have possession. Some former NFL refs on Twitter were saying, yeah, no, it's the right call. He did clearly establish possession. What a funky play.
Yeah. That was, yeah, I mean, because he just went over there and kind of like, all right, I'll just pick it up.
Yeah.
The rule is in defense, no matter what, you'll go pick the ball up. But I think the whistle made everybody stop.
Yeah. Except for Charbonnet, who just kind of picked it up on a hum.
Yeah, he just went. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like he was chasing the ball and he knew it was live.
Right.
He was just going through it, and then, he got a free 2 points out of it.
Ends up tying the game.
Yeah.
Giving Seattle one last chance. Elsewhere in the NFL, Jay, I do think this is interesting as well. So Adam Schefter, actually, before we get to that, sorry, with the Rams going to the 5 seed, imagine being in the 1 seed as long as they've been. Talented as they are. Yeah. Have to go play on the road in the first round.
It's almost not fair because you remember a few years ago, Seattle was 7-9. In New Orleans, the same thing, had to go on the road up there, and that's where the Marshawn Lynch, the beast mode,
Beastquake,
Beastquake started.
Okay, now to the AFC. If Broncos Jags on Sunday. If the Broncos win, Sean Payton will join Bill Belichick as the only head coaches in NFL history with at least 5 13-win seasons.
Wow.
We knew Sean Payton was a good coach, but
this is quiet. But
quiet as kept. Yeah. Even in the era where we've moved to 17-game schedules, winning 13 games with this Broncos team in that division, that's a tip of the cap.
Yeah. I mean, he's a heck of a coach, and I think he's probably, you lose track of him because once he gets on TV, which he was good at TV, now he's head coach of the Broncos, and they're a really good team. They're not really ultra talented team. They're talented, but they're not like the best roster in the NFL. Now, see, he's done a really good job. So, look, when you win a Super Bowl and you're as consistent as he's been, that's how you have get in there with the likes of Bill Belichick. I mean, I would have never thought it. As good as New Orleans was a year in and year out down there
in a mediocre division.
In a mediocre division, but you get remember
I'm saying that's how you stack wins and get to 13.
It was always they would always kind of be either the division champ or like when they had to go on the road, it'd kind of be like, okay, Tampa would be good for a year, then Atlanta, and all that. But consistently, how they were, you never thought, okay, New Orleans won 13 games.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, because it's hard to win 13.
Right.
I mean, you go 11-5, that's a good year.
Well, you got to think remember they had that controversial call down there when they lost to the Rams.
That's right.
And the referee, I don't know where he's at. They said he had, money on the game and stuff like that. So he's battled through some trials and tribulations. It's paying off right now for the Denver Broncos. Right on time because Mahomes going to be at home.
Right. When you look at the years that Sean Payton won 13 down in New Orleans. So the first time that he would have won the 13 games would have been in 2009, year that they win the Super Bowl. They go 13-3, obviously win the division, 510 points scored. Did it again in 2011 when they lose in the divisional round of the playoffs. Then did it back-to-back years, actually, 2018 and 2019. That was the Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas years. Lost in the conference championship game in 2018 and then 2019 in the wild card round. Do you trust Sean Payton the most of any coach in the AFC playoffs, given that Denver is, in the pole position? Do you trust him as much as you would say a John Harbaugh if the Ravens make it? Do you trust him more than a Mike Tomlin with Pittsburgh? Vrabel's have plenty of playoff experience. How much do you trust him in a young New England team?
What you mean? What is your definition of trust? That call a good game,
manage the moment, put his players in position to succeed.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's gonna call a good game. I mean, he gonna be out there in his Jordans. He gonna do his thing. I trust him there. I think he's got a good thing going. I think one of the best moves he did was not put the panic button and not fire Vance Joseph. And that Vance Joseph ever since then has put that defense out there. They led the league in sacks last year, and they're probably gonna do it again this year. And they are a problem.
We've come a long way from Vance Joseph, Nebraska defensive coordinator rumors.
When was that?
Well, it's after Scott got fired. And there's, keep Mickey Joseph the head coach. You can bring Vance Joseph back with him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was never going to happen.
Because he had just left Denver, right? Yeah. It would have worked out here. You've been blitzing.
Like none other.
Yeah, them dudes, they causing some problems, man.
Pecan Pie, Denver's schedule was crap the last 4 or 5 years. Easy to get W's. Well, Denver, let me look this up just to make sure, but I think Denver would have been playing primarily third place schedule, second and third, but it's still the NFL.
Here's the reality. Winning a game in the NFL is hard to do. Winning 13 or potentially or 12 at this point is an extremely big deal. Winning a game in the NFL is hard to do. Yes, there's some schedules that are more favorable and all that, but man, there's so much parity that there is no week off. There is no, back like, I don't know, I guess even like when I was with the Texans, I mean, the Colts probably knew that they were going to beat us. You know what I'm saying? The NFL wanted them to win. They were going to beat us, and we didn't have – there's a talent everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's no dominant team out there. I mean, the closest one we had was the Chiefs, and they at the crib.
Straight kicking it.
And they had, a great run where they got 3 Super Bowls at it, but it wasn't like the Patriots.
The list of guys that the Chiefs are sitting this week, now that they're eliminated from playoff contention, and yes, some of these guys have been
banged up
already, but ruled out for Sunday against the Titans. They will be without Jay, Rashee Rice, Trent McDuffie, Leo Chenal, Jalen Moore, Jawan Taylor, Tyquan Thornton, Najee Johnson, Derek Nottie, and a couple others.
But one name that's playing.
Chris Jones.
And Travis Kelce. Yeah, they're depleted.
Your expectations for Gardner Minshew against the Titans?
Oh, he's going to have a good game because they ain't seen him before.
He's been in the division.
Not with the Chiefs.
Fair.
But next week, he's going to play like garbage. He's going to play like garbage. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough for the Chiefs. I'm pretty sure this, I'll tell you, from experience, going from Buffalo to Houston, you know what I mean? Making the playoffs, being in the hunt, you know what I mean? Knowing that we're going to play at least an extra week or whatever. Sometimes they had a week off, so we got 2 weeks, and you're in the tournament. And once you get in there, you think, oh, anything can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to go down to Houston, whew, it's 5 weeks left. Wait, yeah, you got your U-Haul ready? You staying here this off season? Where are you going? Are you going fishing? Yeah, I'm going fishing. Hey, I mean, literally, that's the way it is. And so for the Chiefs, they worked extremely hard, really good, obviously really, really talented, well coached. Well, when they're in training camp, they knew, all right, we're playing well into the playoffs.
Yeah.
This year, even though they got officially eliminated, they were eliminated probably 3 weeks prior, 4 weeks prior.
Yeah.
They knew it then.
Yeah.
They were hanging on by a string, and they knew it then.
Kept getting a couple breaks with other teams losing.
But they weren't winning. Yeah, and they weren't.
They have one win in the last 7 weeks.
Right. So they knew it was over. OVER.
Done. I wouldn't read this except that Eric and I are fans of the same NFL franchise.
Yeah.
I got to read it. Just so you know, it's nothing personal. I bet Jay lost to the Colts a lot.
What's wrong with him, man? It's Friday. So there's some people in this world wake up with venom in their veins. And you know what I'm saying?
It's not even like Trey Palmer wake up pissed off.
No, it's just like what happened? What happened in your REM sleep? Did you have a bad dream? It's 7 a.m. You giving business. It's Friday, Eric. You need to chill and stop bringing up memories of Dallas Clark. I saw a thing where they were talking about the best tight ends of all time. And it was like, the Ozzie Newsomes and Gronkowski and Kelsey and Gonzalez and all them.
Gates and Sharp
all them. And Mackey and stuff like that. That number 10, you know who they had. It had to be Iowa.
DC 44?
Yeah. He wasn't that good now. I mean, dang.
Let's pull the number. Let's pull the numbers. Let's pull the numbers here.
Pull his numbers against Steve Jordan. Cam Jordan's dad.
Yeah. Dallas Clark, 143 games, 505 catches, 5,600 yards, and 53 touchdowns. One-time Pro Bowler, one-time All-Pro.
He ain't top 10 of all time. He ain't even better than Mark Bavaro.
Dallas Clark played for 2 teams after the Colts. I did not remember this. Do you remember who Dallas Clark played for?
Was one of them Denver?
It was not Denver. One in the NFC and then one in the AFC to close things out.
Really?
Yes.
No, he ain't played then.
So he left the Colts in 2011. He went to Tampa Bay in 2012 and went to Baltimore in 2013.
Not bad.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. We'll talk more on Kyle Whittingham's future. Go check out the early break interview with Kyle Whittingham from earlier today after you're done with Old School. But Kyle Whittingham made some interesting comments. He's open to work. He's looking for it. Where could Kyle Whittingham end up? We'll discuss that next on the show.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this holiday season at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. Keep your eyes posted to the Mercado's social media pages for specific daily deals from now all the way through New Year's Eve on December 31st. Don't forget their other locations, now open at 30th and Yankee Hill and 84th and Old Cheney in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals, and get your lift on with 3 weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance?
That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. Austin and Jay with you. This segment brought to you by the great people at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more info. You can do that at 402-430-3852 or by visiting them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Jay, before we get to Kyle Whittingham and his comments, we'll get to this on our starter at Heyman Jewelers text line from Ben. He says, forgive me if you've already mentioned this, but if the Bears knock off the Packers this week, will Jay Foreman finally give the Bears the respect they're due?
I sure will. The Bears have been impressive. Ben Johnson has been excellent. I've been impressed with him for quite some time. He stands on business. He stood on business even when he went out there and jumped on the plane right back, him and Aaron Glenn, to the Commanders. He has brought a standard of excellence in how they go about doing things. He has a vision. And, yeah, I'm impressed by him. I'm impressed, actually, how they drafted and how they free agency. They got my man Gardner Johnson, who is a problem. I like him. He'd be a great teammate to have. Yeah, they beat the Packers. Actually, I'm hoping that they beat the Packers. I'd be happy for the Bears. It's been miserable probably for my man Greg Smith is a diehard Bears fan.
Shout out, Greg.
The Bears are going to Bears. And so, look, they got it. They get it right, and they get over to beat the Packers. I don't think would even be a big task to beat the Packers.
Not in their current state.
Yeah, for them.
I won't say problem. The issue for Chicago will be whatever else happens the rest of the year. They've accomplished everything they've wanted to, pretty much, and more. What does next year look like? Think about how we were talking about the Commanders last year. I know, Caleb and Jake Daniels aren't the same, but to be able to validate, let's say the Bears end up winning the North. That's from a fourth place schedule to a first place schedule. On top of, I'm sure there'll still be some questions about Caleb. Can they validate anyways? So good on them. They've had a good year this year. But I'm more worried about next year for them now.
Yeah, you got. How you deal with success, and that's why you have to in the league when you have a chance to exceed expectations, yours and other people's, and get on a magical run. That's why you gotta cash in on it.
Yeah,
because next year gets extremely harder just based on the schedule change. You're probably going to lose some guys in free agency. You're going to have to cut some guys you don't want to, and the offseason is extremely different. You're treated a lot different in Chicago. You're thought of nationally a lot different.
And that's a tough division. Minnesota will bounce back. Detroit will have more continuity. Green Bay will get guys back from injury.
Then you're right back at square one. Now you're going to get everybody's best shot. Everybody still was, when you went on a pretty good run of playing consistent football, everybody's like, oh, let's see next week. Okay, let's see the next week. Well, they kept playing well, and then obviously they're in a position to win it. And with Minnesota being out of it and Detroit kind of still feeling it, figuring it out. Chicago's in a great position.
Speaking of magical runs, semi-magical for Utah, if not more, under Kyle Whittingham. He had this to say today, Jay. I'm a free agent. I'm in the transfer portal. Like I said, I'm at peace, and I did not want to be that guy that overstayed his welcome with people just saying, hey, when's this guy going to leave? That was not my intention ever. I hope I didn't do that. I'm sure with some people I did do that, but the timing is right. But again, the first two sentences, I'm a free agent. I'm in the transfer portal. Kyle Whittingham wants a job.
What jobs are open?
There's a big one up north-ish.
He fits it. He's tough. Well, I wouldn't bat an eye if Michigan hired him. Actually, it would bring him some credibility.
Oh, yeah.
It actually would probably clean up a lot of stuff, and I don't know if he wants to go into that type of environment with the athletic department. You don't even know if the AD that's going to, would hire you is going to be there. You don't even know when they would be. I mean, you got to put together a staff, which I'm sure he would be able to do so. But I think it's the bigger thing is that he's saying without saying he felt he got pushed out the door.
Yeah.
And it kind of coincides with that new private equity. They want a new face.
Mhm.
At least he got it to his buddy Scully.
Mhm.
And they've been together for a while.
Oh, a long time. Mhm.
But still, this dude brought you from the depths of hell. I mean, obviously Urban did his thing, but I mean, nobody really respected you. I mean, when Urban left, it was like, oh, that's great. You were there for 2 years. You probably even, you're still on your first year's rent.
Oh, yeah.
In your place up there, Urban. And then he took it over, and he's been very, very consistent. Made them competitive when they didn't have any of the resources or even the aura to go up to Utah. And he's put a lot of players at the next level, some really, really good players, and he has an eye for talent. He's been around the block. I was listening to a little bit, for Dick, with Dick Tomey and all those guys, and obviously Urban, and obviously he's pretty close to Bill Bush. I mean, if he goes to Michigan, I mean, and you can't tell me that he doesn't have the energy. I mean, you see the dude, he's still in great shape. And I'm sure it's hard for him to walk out of there and not be, I know he's got one more game, but not to be the head coach at Utah anymore. Because I remember a couple years ago when he was really, up for some jobs, he chose to stay there.
Mhm.
And that's why you also have to be wary of, like, when you're a coach and you do what everybody wants you to do and what you really think you should do. Well, a couple of years after that, now they're pushing you out the door. Now, was it worth it? How many opportunities has he had to move on, and he might be still coaching somewhere?
Right.
Because I remember they had a game, I think maybe it was against BYU, where he was riding his Harley into the stadium and all that. And so I'm sure Utah is always going to be his home. He's been there. He played up at BYU. I mean, so that's just who he is and where he's from. But, it'll be interesting to see what his next move is.
I think a few schools that I would have my eye on, I think if it's Kenny Dillingham to Michigan, Arizona State would make a call. If I'm Colorado, new AD, say Dion, you have some health troubles, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you, play. This is prime, but I'm still prime,
Okay.
baby.
I'm just saying, do you at least kick the tires on something like that? Had Stanford not hired Tavita Pritchard, maybe. That's down the list, but it's a reputable
private
school. I don't know, but if you got pushed out, you've at least been around the Pac-12 footprint.
Yeah,
for a while.
He's
probably
definitely recruited in those areas.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think Oregon State, I know they have a coach, would have been too far a step down.
Yeah.
Washington State, obviously, as well. So I think that Colorado would be one that I would monitor if they're willing to do that.
Sit out a year.
Take a year off. You're still 67.
Take a year
next
off. Do
off-season.
some TV.
Sure.
Travel around. He'll get to see the ins and outs of the programs. He'll kind of he'll have a good feel. A lot of those media guys know the guys are going to get fired because they talk to the ADs off the record.
Right.
They know the guys are going to be out. Then you can kind of position yourself. Why would you want to jump right back in? If Michigan calls, he's probably got to take it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get much bigger than that. But
would he take Iowa?
That never even crossed my mind.
I hate to even say it.
I think he would, but I think if you fire Kurt Ferentz,
you get Kirk to step down after age 70.
Okay, then you get younger,
slightly younger.
But you go younger.
Yeah,
and Kirk,
I agree. I'm just saying, if he's out there, Iowa's not forcing him out.
He fits Iowa, but you know what could happen? I doubt he'll ever go to Iowa. But you know what could happen? And everybody's a copycat league. Well, they did it down in Utah. We got him to leave. Kirk. It's time for you to go, brother. We got you a nice lake house up there in Lake Minnetonka. You know what I'm saying? You got you a nice big old mansion. We got you set up. Got you a nice boat. You can have an office here. Just not the head coach's office. That's it. I think they'll go younger.
I agree.
But he would fit there.
That's why I threw it out there because I know it's not going to happen.
But he would fit there, though. Yeah.
He would.
Yeah.
And he's a good enough coach that there might be a surprise team that says, well, we weren't really happy with you. We didn't know this guy was available. We reached out, gauged interest. He's willing enough to come here. So, see him. I don't know who that school is, but there's got to be a school or two out there that's kicking the tires on it right now. I think
it's so late.
Oh, portal hasn't even opened yet. It's early enough.
No, for him to get it. There's no other jobs besides Michigan.
Well, what I'm saying is I think he's a good enough coach.
Oh, to boot your present-day coach.
if you weren't satisfied, you're going to bring him back because you didn't have any better options. You don't do this until you've talked to his people and know for sure that you have him, because the portal hasn't opened yet. If you make the move over the weekend and Whittingham's in place by Monday, it's a rush. But, I mean, you still have 10-ish days till the portal opens.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd be hard for them. Coaches are loyal to each other. It'd be hard for they're like a band of brothers. They ain't gonna do that. But he's a good enough coach to do so. But I think he's gonna take a year off if Michigan doesn't come calling or Arizona State. Man, I'm shocked that he was like, pretty much I got pushed out, man. I'm still ready to coach.
You think it's the private equity thing?
Well,
is that
that's usually what happens.
Your number one theory?
Not the number one. Is number two. I think number one is Scully got impatient and wanted a shot right now.
Yeah, that's where I would lean to. And I'm sure if the private equity people would be like, come on, man, chill. Yeah. You're not pushing out a legend. But if they're just in, they don't know the fabric, like you would say, the culture, like, okay, sure, whatever. You're head coach and waiting. Why not?
Yeah, we want a new face of the program because we're giving you some new money. So, I don't know, man. I just can't. I'm still shocked that he's like, all right, I still want to coach. I thought it was going to be like, nah, man, you know what? I'm ready to chill. I'm ready maybe do some other things. I might consult a little bit. He's like, oh, no. He's like, I don't ever want to overstay my welcome. So I hope I know there's some, because then the other big thing he said was, I know there's some that thought I overstayed my welcome. I hope there's some that didn't think I overstayed my welcome.
Yeah.
He's like, but I'm out. So there was a lot of people probably telling him, like, you need to go, which is crazy. They're ranked number 15.
Yeah. We did get some news. This is from the Salt Lake Tribune. So Devin Dampier will indeed be playing in the game, starting quarterback for Utah. The two standout tackles, Spencer Fano and Caleb Lomu, both opt out. Yep. So Nebraska will not have to worry about that. And then on defense, Logan Fano has also opted out. So three pretty key pieces to what Utah did in the trenches.
But they got
dudes.
They got dudes, and they'll be ready. And even though the quarterback's playing, the backup quarterback is faster.
Right.
So,
do you know the backup quarterback's name?
No, he's number 15.
Bird Ficklin.
Yeah, Bird Ficklin.
BYRD. Bird.
He can pick him up and put him down. So it's a tough task for Nebraska. I still think there's a way for Nebraska to win. You got to play better, and hopefully they made a lot of improvement, in this bowl prep and see where they're at. It's going to come down to tackling, though.
Sounds like a football game to me.
Yeah. At 2:30 in the afternoon, which is a great time to play.
Your favorite time to play?
Yeah.
You don't care. You lace up whenever.
Care,
you said that.
College, I like prime time.
It's prime, baby.
Yeah.
Quote Jay Foreman. We'll be back. The Basketball Hall of Fame announced it's a 2026 finalist. Who do we think gets in? Who deserves it most? We'll talk about that to wrap up hour 2.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals, and get your lift on with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? MaintainX is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals, no more hunting down parts, no more drowning in paperwork. With MaintainX, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try MaintainX for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain in the letter x.com/AI.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
John's Plumbing in Lincoln reminds us no one anywhere is more noble, righteous, selfless, and courageous than our United States Armed Forces. Many of them will not be home for the holidays. Send them a military care package. Let them know that they are now and always in our thoughts and prayers. Visit sendacarepacagetoday.com for more information. This from John's Plumbing in Lincoln, family owned for over 22 years. Call 402-475-2599. Merry Christmas.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we are, one segment left in hour 2 of Old School. Austin and Jay with you for another hour and change. I'll be with you as well for the Corner 3 tonight at 6. Plenty to get to in the realm of college hoops, high school hoops as well, starting at 7. That's when pregame will be with tip-off at 7:15. And then Nebraska wrestling post-match coverage tonight as well. That's the lineup for you for the rest of the evening. Make sure you get your plans for January, though, right? January 11th at Baxter Arena. Love Volleyball Nebraska starts its second season. Get your tickets online at lovb.com. Don't miss your opportunity to see all sorts of volleyball stars like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson dominate the floor as Love Nebraska takes on Love Houston on Sunday, January 11th. That'll be a 3 p.m. first serve. You can go get your tickets and find out more about their promotional schedule online at lovbneb.com before it's too late. Tip of the cap, shout out, salute to Rebecca Alex. She signs with Love Volleyball. She's headed up north to play for Love Madison. So unfortunate for her. She has to leave the state and go to Wisconsin, but best of luck to Rebecca Alex as she begins her professional career. In other news today, like I teased, Basketball Hall of Fame notable first-time nominees for the class of 2026. On the women's side, you have the 96 national team, Elena Delle Donne and Candace Parker. On the men's side, Jamal Crawford as a player, Mike D'Antoni as a contributor. You have Blake Griffin, ISO Joe Johnson, and then Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson, first-time nominees for the Basketball Hall of Fame. If you had to pick 2 or 3 from that list, who would you give the nod to?
Obviously, Candace. I think Jamal Crawford as well. He's iconic. I don't know if he'll get in.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Because I think I think the way he was able to come off the bench and he pretty much he was a full-fledged starter coming off the bench doing work in just micro minutes.
Right. Kind of helped be that bridge between eras of Seattle basketball.
Right. Yeah.
Still a huge ambassador for that region.
And so those are my main 2. I mean, I'm just thinking right now. I can't believe like Candace is not in.
I know. Well, she's first time eligible.
Yeah.
So I don't know what took so long.
Yeah. I mean,
end of playing career maybe.
Yeah, because she did play. Remember she was hurt one year, then came back. Okay, so now
I assume that's all.
Yeah, the 5 years or whatever. But you would think that she was a problem.
Yeah.
Those are my main 2, actually. I mean, Jamal Crawford is probably more of a biased pick, knowing that probably he will get in, but not right now. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think he's going to have to probably get some, maybe like Jordan or somebody to say, hey, you need to get this guy in.
I think that he has probably the best chance of the men's players, right, between him, Blake Griffin, and Joe Johnson. Yeah. ISO Joe was just like, 75% of Carmelo? And I love ISO Joe. He's a big part of those Hawks teams, but that's not a Hall of Famer to me. And even Blake Griffin, I think where Blake might pick up some votes is doing the media thing.
That's what I was
He's
just
been
about to say.
Really good on TV, a good personality, and a good player, right?
Good
he had his stretches of
absolutely
had stretches of dominance. Absolutely. His name will be out there. Really incredible player in college. Certainly had his moments in the pros. Obviously, think of him as the dunker with the Clippers, but developed into more well-rounded player in Detroit. Played roles kind of that veteran at the end of Boston's bench at times as well. I'm just not sold on any of them. The 2 guys, Jay, that I think probably would have had the best resume would have been the coaches.
Yeah.
In Bruce Pearl and Kelvin Sampson. I would take Kelvin long before Bruce Pearl in a Hall of Fame sort of discussion. Both those guys come with the show cost penalties from their past as well. But I do think that relative to their levels, Candace Parker and Elena Delle Donne were probably the better players in this class right now. For the first time eligibles, at least.
And Delle Donne is like a unique story.
Yeah.
Like a unique, right? I mean, because
from Joe Flacco,
but so dominant though.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like almost like Larry Bird, right? You started at UConn. Obviously had some families because I think she has a sibling that was sick and didn't get the support. And I think mentally she was worn out with that. And then obviously went to Delaware and then she got in the league. And then it was kind of, just went off into the abyss. You don't really hear from her much, right? And obviously, there's not a lot of opportunities, but I don't think people really appreciate how dominating she was. And I think injuries caught up to her as well. So I think it's probably, more on the women getting in. They're the, the bell cows, they're the headliners now.
Some other returning candidates who are eligible from previous ballots, some interesting names. Marv Albert, longtime broadcaster. Think about Mark Few from the college ranks, and obviously with Team USA. Doc Rivers, not in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and then Amari Stoudemire, also returning eligible candidates.
Yeah. I can see Marv Albert. I think Marv Albert's really, after this little issue, I think came back. Legendary, though,
Yeah.
for sure, especially, calling Knicks games. I mean,
Right.
yeah, so
Does Few need a ring to get in?
I would think so. Don't you? I think I think he probably gets in. I think he needs.
I mean, do you give him a nod for being Team USA assistant? If he was head
No.
coach, maybe.
Head coach for sure.
But also,
not-
it's
not-
Gonzaga. I mean, you're in Spokane, Washington.
know.
You're winning 25 games a year.
I don't think so.
He's I would probably lean toward him being in, but he might be my Jamal Crawford pick.
You're right. I think he deserves to be in, but will he?
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Doc, I'm less sold on. I mean, you can't.
Doc's these last two stops is
played his way out.
Yeah, messed his way up.
Yeah. And Amari was so fun, but didn't have the longevity.
No.
Even the peak was good, not
it wasn't
always elite.
Yeah, you didn't have that one game or that one series or something like that.
Now, if he gets a ring in Phoenix, if they knock off San Antonio or Los Angeles one of those times, maybe.
Yeah, and some of those bigger games, him and Nash were tied together, and they didn't really perform up to what they did in the regular season, especially down there in Phoenix.
Right.
So
it'll be interesting to see how close they get.
It's not a sexy class, though.
It's really not.
No, it's kind of ho-hum class, but sometimes you got to really dig into the numbers and the details and look at their situations to make sure that you make the right decision, because they're all worthy of being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when they get in.
Right. Yeah, I'm willing to be convinced, but just at first blush.
Yeah.
Nah.
The two young ladies, and I want Jamal Crawford, probably not. Maybe Marv Albert, and then maybe Blake Griffin, just because of politics, which is being on the air and all that. It's kind of like Blake Griffin just kind of reminds me of everybody was surprised. I think Steve Young was the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
at least early. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's on TV.
Right.
And it's not taking anything away from him. He's way more accomplished than me. But when I think of first team or first ballot Hall of Famer, I'm thinking like Brady and Joe Montana and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
We'll be back plenty more in hour 3 of Old School. Transfer portal. Nebraska roster did come out today for the bowl game. We'll look over that. What does the future hold for the Huskers in the portal and the bowl game against Utah? Plenty more all ahead. One more hour to go on Old School, sending you off in your weekend.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
At Riddle's Jewelry, we know there are moments in life when you realize this is what it's all about. And you wish you could hold on to that feeling forever. This is why we've made jewelry our passion for 65 years. This holiday season, find the perfect gift with savings up to 50%. Riddle's Jewelry, family owned since 1959.
Located in Lincoln at the Gateway Mall. It's the holiday season. time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and it will be breezy. An afternoon high around 49. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, a continued breeze below around 35. And tomorrow, we'll see probably sunny skies and a light breeze. An afternoon high near 47. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman? One more hour till we get this party started on the weekend. This is Old School, live in effect, 1040 O Street. As we see, something must be going on downtown. We got a lot of traffic out here in front of us at about 11th and O. But we are brought to you by the Mercado. 3 locations here in Lincoln, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Aldermat / Cheney, and 1 up in Omaha, 168th and Maple. It's going to be really good grilling weather next week as long as the wind doesn't gust in here like it did the last couple of days. Going to get a couple of days next week in the low 60s, and I'll see mid to high 50s as well. So fire it up. Anytime you can grill this close to Christmas, and heck, you might be able to grill on Christmas Day.
Woo!
Might as well.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a Christmas present in and of itself. Fire that puppy up.
Yeah, everybody's sleeping. I'm on the grill. Go ahead, open the presents. I got to do my thing.
Some people might try to go golf, sneak onto their local course.
Yeah.
That's not for me. I'll fire up that trusty grill.
Fire up that grill. But what we're going to fire up right now with the text line, we were just thinking, obviously with the bowl game coming up, you obviously the news of the day out of Husker land. We'll get into some audio from Matt Rule because I think there's some telling things in there. But Malcolm Hartzog jumped in the portal. Will he be the only one, or who will be the next big name in there? So we got 2 big names in there, right? You got Dillon and Hartzog, and who'll be next? I mean, obviously you wish they all would stay, and it just always very interesting. I think you jump in the portal for 3 reasons. Take money out of it because that's always going to be a factor. But 1, you want an opportunity to play and feel like there's just not a clear pathway immediately to get on the field. Number 2, you jump in the portal to get the team that you're presently on to re-up. And I don't think they do that anymore.
Well, it just happened last year.
Yeah, but they changed the portal date to January. So as you saw with a lot of other schools and teams, they start re-signing. And I think even Coach Rule talked about it, or somebody talked about it. they were in the process of re-signing players on that break.
Yeah.
From Iowa to right now.
Full practice. Yeah.
So I think that generally doesn't happen now.
Sure.
Could they jump back in January? I'm sure, but I'm sure they would have to give the contracts. You have to give back some of the money. So that, and then number 3, you just don't like the situation, and you might have it, and the situation is a new coach like Kansas State, Iowa State, and Penn State, and so forth and so on, or you're being told, "Hey, I'm bringing in 3 guys at your position. You can stay if you want. Love to have you around, but these guys are going to play," and that happens everywhere. So, with that being said, I don't know if that's going to happen at Nebraska with some coaching turnover. I don't think they would ever run people off, but I think with coaching turnover, some things change. Heck, even blocking schemes will change offensively. The defensive scheme is different. So you might have been at second or third string in the 3-3-5. You might have to go back to a regular stack linebacker. Now you might be third or fourth team, and now you're trying to figure out a way. How do I? Because it's all projection in your mind on how I can get on the travel roster. Because the home game, everybody dresses. Travel roster is what, 70, 75?
Yeah.
So that's where you got to really try to, do some math and kind of look at yourself versus other players. Look who's coming in. Look who they're going to get out of the portal, and see where you go. And then obviously the business part is the business part. And the best way to secure business is go out there and control what you can control, and that's, playing well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the positions you naturally look for some of that attrition is the set of positions where you just have a bunch of bodies.
Right.
Defensive backs, obviously
Always.
Hartzog is in there, but those guys come and go.
Yeah.
Bunch of receivers.
Yeah.
You have 3-4 of them on the field at a time. Maybe someone finds one of those reasons. And then, Jay, I think, too, the other positions where you got a bunch of names, offensive line and defensive line.
Yeah.
With new coaches coming in at both positions, I think, if I'm in one of those rooms specifically, it's, hey, here's my chance to really establish my footing. Maybe you don't gel with the coach. Maybe you thought you were better in a 3 down instead of a 4 down. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think there's enough versatility. I think there's enough projectability with what Nebraska has in both those rooms that my advice to those guys would be stick it out. You have a really great opportunity to win yourself a spot and win yourself some snaps. But when new coaches come in, that's where you tend to see quite a bit of attrition. I think in the defensive backfield and in the wide receiver room, I like Coach Schwartz. I like Coach Williams. Seems like they've connected pretty well with their guys, but some attrition is just natural there. Really curious to see what happens in the trenches.
Yeah. I mean, those 2 positions, and then in the other 2, the offense and defensive line, is probably going to be where the spotlight is going to be. I mean, I think running back is the easiest position to find somebody that needs an opportunity, because you might there might be your starting running back out of the guys that are still here. There might be a Kenneth Walker III somewhere else, right? So that's a little bit easier to find a guy, and obviously depending on what you view moving forward out of that position you need. It's also what I think this is Coach Schwartz and obviously Coach Williams, really their first time going in the portal. So you'll get, I know he brought Dane Key with him, but I'm talking about going in the portal now.
Like actually having to do your own digging.
Yeah,
in the portal.
getting, this is what I want out of the portal. This is a guy. This is what I expect from him, and I don't really know him. So this, whether they bring him in or not, and for both of them, right? They've been able to do a good enough job of coaching the guys that they presently have, along with Marshall coming in, obviously on the defensive back, and Dane Key, and obviously Hunter on the offensive side. But now this is the first time that you're going to be able to go in and kind of, shop for yourself if you have to. And then obviously then you're recruiting to that same body type skill set. So then that's where, when you have guys in a plethora of young, good talent, it's not even a bad thing if they decide to leave. They just understand, I need to get on the field, especially at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, but it's a bad problem to have, because you got Hunter coming back, Barney, you got Keelan Smith, you got Mills, Quinn Clark, Jones. So that's 6 right there for sure, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody.
Is Demetrius Bell still around?
Yeah. I'm not sure, but that's 6 right there. Legit, really talented young players.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting, what you're bringing in. One of the guys that might be able to, crack the lineup. So, you just got to keep an eye on that, and obviously, it's going to be interesting to see how Nebraska, what position they try to get, and what position can they get first. Because I think when you get in there, and I'm I'm assuming they're going to be very strategic. They're going to try to probably, it's like free agency in the NFL. You're going to get in there and get the couple big ones that you want. Maybe you draw back and kind of like New England Patriots, wait till you can bargain shop to where you can save yourself some money and get some guys that maybe if it money dried up at their certain position groups, and then go from there.
I don't want to stir anything up. I have no inside knowledge or anything. But if I ask you right now, Jay, just simple yes or no, is Ja'Cory Barney Jr. on the roster next year?
Ooh. I think I think a lot depends on. Well, I would tend to say yes because he's playing in the bowl game.
Yeah. Usually good
indicator. Yeah. I would say I was gonna say, well, let's see what happens in the bowl game, but he's already playing. I don't think the game is gonna make a big difference. I think if I had to bet, I would say yes, unless somebody comes in and offers them, money that Nebraska can't or is willing to pay.
What's gone right for Ja'Cory Barney through 2 years, and what do you think would need to change for him in year 3 in Nebraska?
I mean, I think your sophomore year is the hardest year because especially when you play early as a freshman, and is because you come in, you're new on the scene, you have some, good numbers, and he was able to, I think he had 50 catches his first year, and so now everybody's thinking you need to have 150 the next year. And then it's a byproduct of you bringing in more talented players, with Hunter and Key. And then you have the emergence of Emmett Johnson in the pass game. So that's another receiver. Then you have Lindenmeyer that did a really good job, especially early in the season. So it was a little bit of lack of opportunities. And then when he got his opportunities, I think he started to get a little bit more volume at the end of the season. And so it's just probably that sophomore, I wouldn't say slump, but actually now it's a respect thing. People know where you're at. And you didn't catch anybody by surprise. Now, what can he get better at? He's not going to get any bigger. I think that's part of his attributes of being wiry, strong, and slim is what makes him dangerous. He doesn't take a lot of clean hits, and when he's a tough kid. So I think the best, I'm sure without watching tape, I'm just going to assume or just kind of guesstimate when I'm looking at his game, probably route running and making guys miss. And I think that actually can be kickstarted by, and I don't really know, but I'm just thinking of a way that you can accelerate that process is probably knowing the defensive scheme just that much better and how they're trying to defend what you're doing on offense.
Mm-hmm.
So then that'll allow you to play faster, then to put you in more positions that when you're at advantage to make guys miss, then that shows your athletic ability, which we've seen at times.
Yeah, it's a guy that I think knows pretty well what route to run, but how to run it against a defense, how to continue to get open. I think the biggest thing for me would be make guys miss, except, Jay, what if he just doesn't have it in him? If he's not going to get bigger, if he can't get much stronger, you can be tough without being strong. Like Ja'Cory Barney Jr. has gotten popped a few times and gotten right back up. Tough kid. I have no doubts about his toughness. But Nebraska seems to want to use him east and west. And if you struggle to make guys miss, that tells me maybe you need to be more north and south.
Yeah.
But when you're only 6 foot, I don't know if he's a true 6 foot, if they round up, whatever it is. I don't know. I've never stood next to him.
Basketball 6 foot.
Okay, basketball 6 foot. I mean, is that a guy that you would want to move outside with his speed? Do you think you have enough on the outside that you like him in the slot? And if he is, a truer slot guy, are there any examples of guys who are at their best, going vertical instead of maybe horizontal in middle of the field in the slot, right? Like what does success look like for Ja'Cory Barney Jr. if he stays as more of an inside receiver?
Yeah, I think you got to study how to. Look, he has a skill set that poses problems against safeties, linebackers, and nickels. So you got to probably, use part of the offseason on how to get him the ball and put him in positions of where he can take advantage of his God-given, skills and abilities. And so that's what part of the offseason is for. That's why I say, there's no days off for these coaches. They got to figure out ways to maximize this roster in order to keep this train moving in the right direction. And so that's part of it. You have a really good player, a good talent, young player that wants to get back on track and he wants to get his volume of catches up. And you want those volume of catches to coincide with more explosive plays or being more of a vertical threat and that's going to open up everybody else. And so, maybe it's the offensive philosophy. Maybe it's like a conscious effort to get him a couple attempts or targets early in the game. So, he can be more effective when he gets the ball or if he doesn't get it early. So I mean, that skill set probably going to be appealing to people, but also I think that he realizes, okay, there's a big opportunity for him with Dane Key leaving, and I'm sure he's probably had some discussions. I'm just with Coach Dana and obviously Shorts on how to, become a better player. I think one of the things you need to look at and definitely focus on if you're going in the portal is make sure that you know your weaknesses, and obviously you want to obviously accentuate your strengths, because if you don't know your weaknesses, then you will be rinse and repeat no matter where you're at.
The other thing I think for him is going to be the chemistry with the new quarterback,
Yep.
assuming that he stays, because was it Michigan State or was it Maryland, the one who broke his route off and then started going upfield as Dylan was scrambling to his right and led to a big play?
Yeah.
We have the roommate connection, and Corey and Dylan are super tight.
Yeah.
Not that, you can't learn to work with another quarterback, but it's not going to be his best friend, Dylan Raiola.
No, but
walking back
you
through
can
that
get
door.
You can get that pretty good in the offseason. I'm sure he has a pretty good relationship with TJ, and TJ's obviously well liked and respected of everybody on the team.
Well, and especially for a guy like TJ Lateef, and if that's where Nebraska wants to go, is with a more mobile quarterback.
So you're going to have to play off schedule, and you're going to have to and that really actually opens it up for him. So, yeah, I think he'll be on the roster. I mean, if it was me and I knew I was leaving,
I'm not playing.
I'm not playing in the bowl game. So I think he'll be here. He should be here. I think it's the best place for him.
Mhm.
And they know that he could be a pretty good player, a dynamic player, and they need to get him the rock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's that time of year, and I don't think Nebraska will have. I don't think they'll have like a mass exodus, and I think you'll probably see some of the bottom of the roster go, and try to play. You know what I mean? Like, say you've been injured for a couple of years, or you just kind of like, all right, they brought in, and like, say if it was me, I hadn't played that much. They bring in 2 linebackers out of the portal. They got Dawson Merritt and Shavers, and I'm down here at number 5, and then I can't even, I'm third team no matter what I do. So then you might want to go to another school and try to, play.
I think you're onto something there, and I think that fits exactly what Matt Rule wants Nebraska to be about, where the transfer portal is a reality. But I also think that the way Matt Rule wants to run his program is to have as few departures in offseason as possible. I mean, think about when Matt Rule first came in. It seemed like there's a relatively low number of guys that transferred out that stuck around and played for him, and he's going to credit that class for a lot, I think, as long as he's at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Things don't necessarily go their way year one. You can tell they're knocking on the doorstep. At how many other schools does Dylan Raiola leave?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something contractual. Maybe it wasn't. But you're the savior, the promised one, whatever have you at the quarterback position. Oh, only 5 and 7. There's not enough talent around me. I got to get out of here. Prioritize my future. He stuck around.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. So I do think that for as much as Nebraska utilizes the transfer portal and has guys leave, I do think that Matt Rule is going to try to make it
Hard.
He's going to try to minimize the negative downsides of it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I mean, listen, they have a great setup here,
Mhm.
so it's hard to leave. You're well taken care of, and so, that's a plus. And so I think he knows, and everybody else knows, including Coach Rule, retention is key. That's how you're able. Older teams and teams that have a high retention rate it ends up with a pretty good season. So, we got a couple texts here. Ohio Huskers talking about Barney use him kind of like Steve Smith did, or they used Steve Smith at the early part of his career for the Panthers. I think that's right, because the Panthers had Ricky Prohl and Mashin Muhammad as their 2 outside guys, and Steve Smith was killing guys in the slot. That's how he got started, and it was vertical on linebackers, on safeties, and he was really. And then they put him in more, gave him more space, run after the catch. So that could be something.
I like it.
Old Dad 34 said, "What's your opinion? What's your opinions on the O-line coach?" It should be coaches.
Yeah.
They both come in with a, good pedigree. I mean, obviously, Coach Wade coming from Georgia Tech, and the way that they were able to, develop linemen, be physical and all that stuff, and give up a low amount of sacks. So, and he seems to have good energy when, I only listen to him on the Husker, network thing. And so I think he'll do well. I think I know he's well respected and in the coaching business, as far as like his ability to coach, develop, and have an eye for talent. So I think he'll do well. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't.
It's always funny to me, just at first blush, and then I think about it, and it's not funny. It makes sense when you talk about an offensive line coach, being a better fit for the play calling and the scheme. Like I I laugh because, well, your job's to block people.
Yeah, I know. That's
How many
I think
different
the same
schemes you
thing.
possibly
Yeah,
have, but then, you think about it. Okay, fine. Sure. Maybe this play caller likes to run, inside outside zone. Maybe they're more duo. Maybe they're more gap, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and some guys just have the tips and tricks. Maybe as offensive line coaches that fit in a little bit better, but it without fail cracks me up when you talk about blocking schemes and, offensive line coach being a better fit with the offense. Just block someone.
Yeah,
Is there really anything more to it than that?
And that's where you got to really, it'll be interesting to see as this goes, your portal class, and here are the guys that were, taking the low hanging fruit and always talking about the offensive line when there was other issues that were probably bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the easy thing to do when you either obviously don't watch the game with a good enough eye or don't do your job and know what you're talking about is to talk about the offensive line.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, people were saying, okay, the quarterback held on the ball too long. You can't hold on the ball if you're not getting blocked or guys aren't getting blocked.
Right.
You can't have good rushing numbers unless you block people. Now, Emmett made a lot of those yards on his own.
Mm-hmm. Can I just add one little caveat to what you're saying? That first part, right? You can't hold on to the ball too long if there's not blocking. Yes, I will say maybe there's some of the anticipatory throwing where you're getting better at throwing guys open, where it turns into you holding the ball too long. Because again, in the NFL, 2.5 seconds is a win. It's on your receivers winning early, and sometimes they're not open. But if you've made the right diagnosis pre-snap, you confirm it, with any motion or anything post-snap. Well, then maybe your blocking isn't elite. But if your guy wins early and you just don't trust him enough to throw him the ball, or you're slow getting to him, maybe your O-line did get beat early, but you still could have gotten the ball out with a better process.
Yeah.
But that's probably a small percentage of those situations.
And it's also coincide with if it's quick game, then the ball needs to come out, then the quarterback needs to win. Offensive line is blocking a certain way based on the play call. But it'd be interesting to see how these how people obviously evaluate it, moving forward. But I think he's a good coach. I think he'll do well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyler Kanak is the only one talked about it. It seems like he's captured their attention, so that lets you know he commands the room, and he definitely knows what he's doing. And as far as like marrying it to the system, the only thing I could see is like maybe coordinators used to slide protection based on the route tree and protection in the quarterback. It's all the same. Now you got to teach it a little bit different. How how you go about getting to the end game and blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's where you can really separate yourself.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think he'll do well. I think how you make the coach look good is going out there and playing good.
Right.
So, I think the players need to take it upon themselves, to no matter what they thought about, Coach Donnie getting fired or anything like that. And if they feel like, they, really close to him, the best way you can pay back to him is to go do a good job moving forward, because you're representing him and you're representing Coach Wade. So, we should. I think, look, you reestablish the offensive line. It should make your defensive line better. You go from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at, and it'd be interesting to see, who they retain and how they retain them on the present day roster and who they look for coming forward. I think you could gain some players potentially. I want to say potentially, if guys that were kind of maybe stuck in the mud in the 3-3-5 find new light in the 4-3 or 4-man front.
Yeah.
And that does happen. Sometimes you're playing in a position and you don't know how to get out of it, be your best out of it, because they're very young. They were very young.
Yeah.
So they don't really have a lot of playing experience to lean back on. And then you get into something that you're more familiar with, you can see some guys take off.
A couple names that would come to mind for me in that: Cam Lenhart.
Yep.
Maybe more traditional 4-3
Yep.
guy who had his moments. And then the last we have this one, Jay, Keona Davis.
Yeah.
Is that a guy that you think is, best served playing inside or outside? Inside in a 4, outside in a 3.
I think he can play. He could play a 3 and a 4-3, but I think he can play like an elephant end, power end in a 4-3. Especially because maybe if he's carrying a little bit too much weight and he's got good get off, and say you can get down to your natural fighting weight.
Oh, okay.
So an example for me is like, let's say I generally played around 240, but say I always had to constantly work and I couldn't carry 240 easily at playing linebacker. But my natural walking weight is 215. Then all of a sudden now I'm a different safety.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think they got potential to gain. That's what this practice and this game is. I mean, man, this should be. You talking about being keyed up as a young player,
right? A guy with a lot to prove as well, Riley Van Poppel.
Right.
Sounds like he's been practicing better, earned
Right.
the black shirt over
Sure.
the course of it. Interesting game to monitor for the second off season in a row.
Yeah, and well, this is it. Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is a big step, hopefully in the right direction for him. This is it. But that's why I'm saying you're talking about being keyed up, and if you had kind of been like internalizing your struggles in the 3-3-5, then it's not showing well on the field. Now you feel more comfortable in the 4-3. You can play to your kind of skill set. And if you want to lock down a spot, I know there's going to be a lot of D linemen going to portal, but there's not a lot of D linemen that the last impression is the lasting impression.
Yeah.
So when the coaches are evaluating it, and you play good in this game, and you practice good. First of all, you practice and done everything you needed to do to a higher level leading up to it. Then you play well. That's what they're thinking, because now you've given them an excuse to to really rationalize your lack of production all season. Oh, well, maybe it's on us. We should have been playing a fourth. We should have been doing it. Maybe we should have done it in the first. But all the you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
yeah. And if you get a bunch of guys like that, you can go into off season thinking like, okay, we can be a lot better. You're still going to bring some guys in because we need some depth. But more importantly, I think you can really maximize this talent a lot more, because they got more talent than at times what they played, especially the last couple of weeks. And you got to get guys in the right position. You got to get guys to believe in you, and they got to earn your respect, and you got to earn theirs. And then once that's all happened, then you just let them go out there and do their thing. So, anyways, good first segment. We're going to take a quick break. Come back, me and Austin Orman. We're going to talk about this Bama-Oklahoma game.
Woo!
We're going to do pick 'em.
All right.
So everybody on the text line, we're picking these games right now. I need some help because
Call Steve Stevens.
I need Steve. I'm not betting, but
just pick it.
I think I'm out of the woods of losing the stake bet, but I had the grasp of the championship, but I've lost it.
Oh no!
So now I got to either start taking some risky bets, or I just got to be okay with being also ran second or third place. But I don't like losing anything. But anyways, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through December at Landmark Implement, choose from a 12-month waiver on model year 2023 through 2025 John Deere 6 through 9 series tractors, sprayers, and combines. Or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.35% for another 36 months. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details, or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
At Riddle's Jewelry, we know there are moments in life when you realize this is what it's all about. And you wish you could hold on to that feeling forever. This is why we've made jewelry our passion for 65 years. This holiday season, find the perfect gift with savings up to 50%. Riddle's Jewelry, family owned since 1959.
Located in Lincoln at the Gateway Mall. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital. Your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out Renew PM, the ultimate nighttime recovery formula. Fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed. Renew PM can only be found at Nutrition Authority, the home of better than internet pricing. Own the night with Renew PM. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Get ready, because everything is on sale for one day only at Baumgart's. This Saturday, December 20th, take 12% off all items store-wide. That's right. If it's in the store, it's on sale. Toys, tools, decor, apparel, farm supplies. Whatever you need, you'll save. But don't wait. Doors are open only until 8 p.m. It's the Baumgart's Everything Sale. This Saturday only. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second segment, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. It is on here. You know, this is like a national championship here coming up. Bama, Oklahoma, two blue bloods at Oklahoma. Bama looking for a little redemption. Oklahoma trying to validate themselves. Bama not playing well on offense the last few months. Who knows, if you lose, you could lose your coach to Michigan of all places.
Right.
A lot on the line. Ryan Williams, where are you right now? Are you on TikTok? Or are you playing with like your little toys or something that you do? Your little stress dolls. Are you on the fashion runway? Mateer, are you healthy? Defense of Oklahoma, are you ready? Bama, can you get 20? What's the over-under on Bama total rushing yards?
Oh, gosh, under
50? Everybody included. Reverses, jet sweeps, quarterback run, and conventional run.
Marching band.
Yeah, anybody. Punter, fake punt. Yeah, it's going to be, it's a 1.5. I mean, Oklahoma's favored by 1.5. That's nothing.
Which would tell you Vegas thinks that Bama's the better team, but you just don't know the home field goal.
Yeah,
to Oklahoma,
and you just don't know if Bama's going to. The offense has been suspect
at best,
but I think they're going to do something.
I think
they're going to do something.
How has the month off, the 3 weeks off, treated them? Because that was not pretty in the Iron Bowl. 3 extra weeks for Mateer's health, in the hand. Don't hate that for Oklahoma at all. If we get the John Mateer that we were promised before the year, and the one that started the year out balling pretty well, Oklahoma can win this one by 10 at the
So let me ask you this.
But
Does DeBoer wear the black hoodie on the road?
man, don't you have to?
Oh, yeah.
Pull out all the stops.
You might have to wear black shoes.
I still trust DeBoer more than I do Venables.
I do too.
Black hoodie or not. I don't know. I mean, is this first at 17 wins?
20.
Sure.
I can see this being a rock fight.
Bama just has not been playing well. I just don't know how these 3 weeks off have been treating him. So I think Bama's probably better in a vacuum than Oklahoma. It's hard to beat a team twice. But being at home, if Mateer's healthy, and if Alabama still can't run the ball.
I know. That's the thing.
It's
going to be 55 degrees in Norman, Oklahoma. So that means the second half is going to be about 38 degrees.
Woo! Football weather, baby.
I don't know.
If you ask me right now, I probably take Oklahoma. By virtue of being at home, I like Simpson. I don't love him. And you mentioned Ryan Williams. Wherefore art thou, Romeo Williams, Ryan Williams? I mean,
Oklahoma on a 4-game win streak. They've beaten Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU, so they come in more battle-tested. Alabama they lost to Oklahoma. Before that, they beat LSU. They lost to Oklahoma. They beat the, EIU. I don't know what that is. That's 56.
Is that Eastern Illinois, maybe?
Yeah, 56. No, that don't count. Beat Auburn by 1 score, and then got trounced by Georgia.
In the game that wasn't as close as the score told you. And it wasn't close on the scoreboard.
Right. But you got a month off.
Yeah. I like DeBoer and Simpson more than I do Venables and Mateer. But do I like him enough on the road? I just don't think I can do it, Jay.
Auburn game was on the road. But, man, Oklahoma at home, you've only scored 17 points twice.
See, that's a problem.
I'm going Bama.
Bama's defense is still good, too.
I'm going Bama. I think Kalen DeBoer, if you ever want to prove that you locked in to Bama, tonight's the night. If they come out there sloppy, bad play calling, bad clock management, he in Michigan already. He just waiting for it to be over. He just looking at the game as I'm going to Ann Arbor.
I still think I roll Oklahoma. Close. Give me a classic, and I mean classic, Alabama missed field goal, though.
I think man.
Been too long since we've had a killer missed field goal from Alabama.
I'm going Bama. I'm going Bama because Simpson is going to get healthy or has gotten healthy. He still could turn pro.
Could.
A big game like this, he's right back in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been more consistent all year.
He has been.
And he's healthy. And they got Proctor and they got Bernard. And if Williams wants to go do TikToks in the locker room, go right ahead. We don't need a running game. I'm going Bama. I'm going Bama by 6 or more points. Roll Tide.
I looked this up just because I was curious. Not that history means everything. If you look at Oklahoma's website, Oklahoma says they are 5-1 against Alabama all time. 2-2 at home, or 2-0 at home, 2-0 on the road, 2-0 in conference. They also say they have not played before 2002. If you look at Alabama's website, Jay, Alabama says that they are 2-5-1 against Oklahoma. Alabama includes 2 games from the 1900s. January 1st, 1962, a 17-0 Crimson Tide win, and 1970 on New Year's Eve in Houston, a 24-24 tie. But what both sides do agree on is that Oklahoma is 5-1 against Alabama in the 2000s. They won it by 10 in 2002, by a touchdown in Tuscaloosa in 2003. Didn't play again until 2013 with Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, 45-31. Alabama wins that one. And then the 2018 college football playoff, Alabama wins that one in a shootout, 45-34. But Oklahoma has won both matchups as a member of the SEC.
Yeah, I'm still not believing it, though. I think it's
just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's hard.
Third time's the charm for Bama, maybe?
Yeah. They coming. And what's that dude, the Bama fan, Willie? He's going to the game too. I'm going Bama. Let's move on, Austin. Probably the game of the weekend besides this one. The two best games are played back-to-back, obviously tonight and then tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Miami at Texas A&M, 11 a.m. early start on the road.
Mm-hmm.
A&M favored by 3.5. Who do you got?
I know you're rolling with the Canes. So allow me to make the devil's advocate case for A&M. Looked really good for the first 11 weeks of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Need to learn how to finish and bounce back, right? A&M's been in this position a lot. Really great regular season just to lose it at the end. I do think there's some pressure on them to validate the regular season that they had. Falling all the way down to number 7 is not a great look for a team that was there. The other saving grace, I think, for A&M, Jay, is that I just don't trust Carson Beck, who has been playing better. It's been better for him over the last month and change. I don't know how much I trust Marcel Reed necessarily, but there's a world where Miami gives this one away late, where Beck throws 2 picks and, loses a fumble or something like that. Because I do think that this A&M defense is fine. Gets away with some stuff, I think, at times.
Yeah.
The issue for A&M comes in the trenches. Miami's for real. If A&M can't handle that, could be a long day for the Aggies.
See, I think the only way the Aggies win is if Miami comes down there and just dookies down their leg and they get up big. I trust probably Reed more than Beck, but I think the counter to that is Bain.
He's an equalizer.
I think that's the counter. I think the Miami speed is different. So I think if it's a close game, it's advantage Miami. If it's I think Texas A&M they'll beat them by more than 3.5 points.
So are you excusing away what Carson Beck looked like against Louisville?
I think they got their miscommunications with receivers done and
figured out.
And you don't know this because you don't follow the Canes. I got this from my dad. He cut his hair off. So you know exactly what you know exactly what that means. He said he's on a mission. Yeah. He said, I had fun in South Beach. I got to do what I got to do. I'm locked in.
Locks off means locks in.
He locked in. So I'm going to Canes.
All right.
Next game, the missing coaches bowl, right? Tulane at Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to beat the brakes off them. I think it's going to be tough sledding at the beginning just because, Lane's not there.
Yeah.
But I think eventually Ole Miss will get it going, and it'll be a legendary game for them because this is the farthest they've kind of done in this recent college football playoff.
Yeah, I think if Ole Miss and its players come out upset, angry, that can be a good thing or a bad thing for them. I think there's a world where, Tulane can get out to a double-digit lead.
We've seen it before, though.
We have, but it's going to be important for Tulane to remember that field goals don't win games.
Yeah.
Tulane's got to go for broke. They got to shoot the water.
Yeah.
You got to go for it. If you're up 14-0, or you can stretch that into 17-0 with turnovers or whatever, if Ole Miss comes out slow, that's huge. If you're only up 10-0, that's nothing. To an offense like Ole Miss, they can put up points in the blink of an eye. If it gets to 14-0 Tulane, I'll raise my eyebrow. Otherwise, I do think Ole Miss will have enough to put it in cruise control, probably late third, early fourth.
Yeah, and we got one more game. Obviously, James Madison going all the way up to Oregon. I think when you look at their social media posts, James Madison knows this is going to be a beatdown, and which is weird because I think Chesney's coaching too, right?
Is he?
I think so. But even if he's not, Dan Lanning's such a psychopath. I think they win by way more than 20 points. I think they try to make a statement. I think Oregon thinks they should have gotten a bye.
Chesney will be coaching.
Yeah. But I think Oregon is going to try to impose their will and make a huge statement.
I think they need to.
Yeah.
For that external validation we talked about yesterday. Oregon's improvement mode.
Yeah. And Dan Lanning is a psychopath. Full-fledged.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a blowout city. What sucks about the playoffs is that it's great that you have Tulane and James Madison in, and congratulations to them. It's great for the programs because they get in, they're in it.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks that they're on the road at two dangerous places where they're most likely going to get blown out.
Would you give James Madison more of a chance if this was a neutral site game, not having to travel cross country?
Neutral site game, yeah. More of a chance. Better showing. I give him more of a chance on the road at another team. Like if James Madison was going down to Ole Miss, I give him a better chance.
Sure.
You're playing an Oregon team that Dan Lanning's had a couple weeks to get motivated. Oof.
We know he can do that.
He's gonna have him. He's gonna have him in there at home. That's a long trip for James Madison.
Long
trip. Yeah. So, but it's great for those schools. I'm sure they get there's financial obviously ramifications for it that helps them out a lot. So congratulations to them.
I think at the very least too. I think outside of revenue from the game and appearing, I think what I saw was the college football playoff gives the road teams like a $2 or $3 million travel stipend.
Yeah.
And think about how much of that Tulane's going to be able to bank going down to Oxford compared to James Madison having to ship everything all the way to Eugene.
Yeah, that and how you look for these kids. It's essentially a bowl game, but you're playing on a home site of the home team. But the first time maybe they get to travel differently, going to those, up to Tulane or up to Oregon, and obviously down to Ole Miss. Because I think remember when Dion and them, they went down in Dallas and they played and they took that, and they needed it getting out of Colorado. And he was like, look, you win, you get this. And then, they got beaten. He was like, we need to fly coach home. But they took the same plane. But that's what happens when you make it to college football playoffs. There's big time experiences, big time upgrade in travel. And that's what you work all season for.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the games. Obviously, we picked Austin and me disagreed. I got Bama. He got Oklahoma. I got the Canes. You got Texas.
Yeah, fine. I'll do it. I'll take Miami. I'll do it. I was trying to make the case for A&M, but you talked me into Miami.
You got the Cane. Okay. We got two Canes over here, and then obviously easy picks, Ole Miss and Oregon. So we'll see what we got next week after it is all said and done. So we're gonna take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this week and on Old School on this Friday. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through December at Landmark Implement, choose from a 12-month waiver on model year 2023 through 2025 John Deere 6 through 9 series tractors, sprayers, and combines. Or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.35% for another 36 months. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out Renew PM, the ultimate nighttime recovery formula. Fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed. Renew PM can only be found at Nutrition Authority, the home of better than internet pricing. Own the night with Renew PM. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney location. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Days specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models, and as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman? Austin Orman, Old School. Real quick segment before we turn it over to my man Austin on corner 3, which is now one of the easiest shots to make in basketball. It used to be the hardest shot by the stats. Now see when Steph Curry does it, everybody else starts to practice. Austin, I want to ask you about bowl games real quick. Since bowl games cost teams money for the travel stipend and you get fined if you don't participate, do you think this trend will be will make it the college football playoff to expand, and then the other bowl games will go away? Like the Union Home and Mortgage,
Gasparilla
Bowl, Myrtle Beach Bowl, and all that stuff.
I long for a time that it was just fun to go to bowl games, and we didn't have to wring our hands about profit margins and whatnot. We know there's a 4-letter company that puts on a lot of these bowls, that sponsors them, that's got plenty of money, that's thrown its weight behind the 12-team playoff, more so than the entirety of bowl season, like it used to. That's a bummer for me. What's not a bummer is players getting paid. Long overdue. What is a bummer is that schools use that as a justification to say, well, this money's got to go to the players. We don't have this money for our travel budget to go to this bowl game. So due to financial considerations, anything you can give us won't be enough. We'll still be losing money playing in this bowl. I do think there is still some value in getting your name out there, even if it does cost you a little bit of money. Maybe it's a couple million, couple 100,000. I don't know the profit margins or losses would be for some of these programs, but I wish there would be more of a push to make going to bowl games more conducive for these schools. Instead of giving them reasons to opt out, give them reasons to want to go.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to go down there. Like I think I saw the Texas San Antonio coach who just got out of the bowl game, and he's like, I got like 20 guys going in the portal. Our team will look significantly different. But he said, you know what? I'm going to go down there with the team I got, and we're going to compete. Sometimes you might have to do that. Now, then also, I think for the people have to understand the roster, like when Florida State played Georgia that one year, they had all those guys opt out. You can't evaluate Mike Norvell without any of his big-time pieces. You got to just take it on the chin and hopefully move on from there. I don't think they've really recovered since.
And no one wants games like that.
No.
Right.
And the bowl committee should know that too.
Right.
Right.
But, I mean, I would hope that the players that went still had a good experience, game notwithstanding. I'm sure that's going to color their opinion of it for a long time, getting beat 65-3 or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
But I hope the lead up to the game was fine. I hope that they had some good practices and that they learned something from at least going out and competing. They were clearly overmatched.
Yeah, clearly.
Doesn't mean it was the wrong decision to accept the bowl bid.
Yeah, you got to accept the bowl bid, and you'd like to think that you could develop and train from there. But like you said, I like it that you get some incentives for guys to go. And obviously, this is where you got to really prepare your teams to play. Maybe push all the bowl games back. I think when you have coaching changes and you have quick bowl games, I think you're not going to get a good product.
Yeah.
And maybe trim some of them out of it, but I think some of those bowl games, even though the smaller bowls, they bring a lot of money to those cities. So you don't want to have the indirect negative effect on some of the smaller cities.
I'd love to know, too, if this is just a concern for your Power 4 programs or how it benefits your Group of 5 schools. Right. I mean, if you want to throw a bone to the Group of 5s or say, hey, here's another chance for us to spotlight you, maybe you reduce the number of Power 4 bowls, expand the playoff that way, but say, hey, Group of 5. And I don't love this idea, but I could see a world in which you expand playoff access for the Power 4 by making it bigger, opening up more spots in bowls for the Group of 5 teams,
for sure.
potentially.
Potentially, and maybe do them by regional and take all the rankings out, so you cut on the travel costs and so forth and so on. If you're making a ton of money with the expansion of the playoffs, you can kick some money back to them to be an incentive to keep it on the network. So, anyways, you got an hour away before Bama is at Oklahoma. We'll see what happens there at 7:00. But we're going to turn it over to my man Austin in corner 3. So I am leaving. He will be here. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Old school, the new school way. Enjoy your weekend. We'll holler at you next week.